This episode brought to you by, you know what? Who cares? This is nothing anyways.
Hey, Todd, good news. We can go back in time and we can fix everything and everything will be awesome from now on.
We just go back in time and fuck it up. Like we fuck everything up.
Hey, everybody, we're watching Avengers Endgame and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
Welcome to Miscast Commentary's Movie Marathon.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
With two guys actually crazy enough to get this done.
And I have a bow and arrow.
Now here are your hosts,
Language!
Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we continue our Marvel Marathon with the culmination of the Infinity Saga. Everything from Iron Man 1 all the way to this moment has led to this very moment.
That is damn right.
And that was an exciting thing, and it leads to a lot of big numbers for these guys. And man, only one thing to do, because it's long as shit.
I was just going to say that this is a long one.
Is to press play.
Holy shit, it is long.
It's 3 hours. Oh, fuck.
Is this like added shit in?
Yeah, maybe. All right. I like this one because it goes cold open.
It's already going.
This was actually supposed to be the first, or this was supposed to be in the end of the Infinity War.
Right.
But they figured because he wasn't in the entire movie, it would actually hold more weight to be at the beginning of this movie.
Right.
And I think they nailed it.
I
This
agree.
is the best possible first scene of this movie. And because it really sets him up for the rest of the movie and all that stuff too, right?
Is there other things in here?
What?
Did they add? Is this like the extended cut or something?
There was supposedly a director's cut or something like that going on. Mayo.
Oh, God, what?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. What the fuck? Like,
even-
mustard is my least favoritist anything. There you go, kid. That's my boy right there.
Apparently, a lot of places, you go to like Chicago or New York and you ask for ketchup on a hot dog and they're going to spit in your face.
I will murder them.
I know.
I will put his face under the grill. The customer is always right.
Yeah. This is fucking heartbreaking. I think about this like in daytime nightmares.
This is my second time seeing this.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Right? Like I remember, and I'm goosing right now, like legit.
Yes,
And
too.
I remember watching this. I went and saw this. I saw this with my sister, and we saw that moment where we were just like, and that's just like, you just see like the dust. Just
There's
like
some over there too.
Yeah. It's so sudden. Like there's
I
so
see
many
more like ashes, like ash
Yes.
leaves or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I picture like, you know, when you get like dry leaves in the fall and you crumble them, it's like that. It's like the mulch.
Nobody's fighting over condiments anymore, brother.
That must be confusing as shit too for him, because like he has no word of what's happening. Basically, he was probably told like when like Natasha came to him or something.
So
like that
he was
after the
there
fact.
because he was under house arrest like Ant-Man because of the Civil War
Correct.
proceedings.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. So
Here we go.
yeah, this I still like. DC just recently did a new version of their like DCEU thing, and it's so fucking boring looking compared to like Marvel's. It's like Marvel's
like
is
they're this.
Yeah, I like the new Star Wars one too that they did. You'll see it when you finally see friggin' Rise of Skywalker. It's just like flashes of faces, and it's like a stormtrooper and like a Darth Vader and like C-3PO, and it's like no real faces, just all like masked faces type thing.
Right. Okay, so here they are. They've been trapped out there ever since the end of Infinity War.
Yeah. And I really like to, I guess in the comics, Nebula plays a pretty big,
Very big.
big part in Infinity Gauntlet. So she's got an updated or upgraded role in this movie. And I think that's great. I think, I don't think anybody fails in this one. I think everybody acts their faces off in this one.
I agree.
A lot of people get really shitty screen time
or character development or whatever.
But like it's like, but yeah, it's
I
no fault
like
of
I've
the
said,
actors.
I was not a fan of this film when I watched it. I'm going to watch it again objectively right now.
No.
But I thought there was a lot wrong with
Yeah.
it. But
That's-
they did a lot of they really went for it.
Yeah.
like they did ideas that didn't in my mind click. But you got to do crazy shit. You don't want to see the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's actually something I always respect about you too when you do that. It's like I'm willing to rewatch it and just like reevaluate it. Hit this like weight loss thing is awesome
Yeah,
too.
like look how skinny he is.
They obviously CG skinnified him.
You
but,
think so?
No, they did. I confirmed
Yeah.
they did do
Oh,
that.
they did, yeah.
Like yeah, he didn't lose the weight for this, but
Why when they could just do that?
yeah. Well, also they shot this back to back. Like he didn't have time to do that.
Right.
So
Do you think that he would be the type of actor that would have done that if
think so.
he had the time?
I think so, but also they had like they get to a point where he's healed, like because they do the time jump, like the time jump forward, and then he's all good again. So they'd have to gain all the way back. It might just not be practical, like in that format.
Right.
Like I know, like Castaway, like they had to like dick with their shooting schedule, like maniacs, to make his like weight loss. They're like, oh, we have to take like. We're going to shoot the weight loss bit first, and then we're going to like take like 6 months off so you can gain weight back and stuff like that. And boom. I like
Nobody
this.
welds like that. Nobody in the history of time welds like that.
Well, if you're desperate and you're
You
Iron Man.
could still put them to your face properly
Yeah.
so your eyeballs don't rip apart. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I really liked this too. Like there is that sense of like hopelessness through the whole thing. You know, because you're watching a movie that it's not the end, obviously. But well, something that was really interesting though is actually Kevin Feige said to the writers Marcus and McFeely, who have written basically all of our favorite ones.
Right.
They wrote like all the recent Avengers movies, and I think they wrote Civil War, and I think they wrote Winter Soldier and all those ones. But they basically said, we're on board with whoever you want to kill. They're like, don't go and just start like chopping off heads willy-nilly. Like, but
Give us who you want to die, and we'll throw it in there.
yeah, and they were like they were like, you tell the story, and like they were totally on board, like not like we got to worry about contracts and blah blah blah. They were like, no, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So, but also, had I known that going in, that would have also really opened up to me like the possibility that this could have been the moment that Iron Man died, and maybe that or that.
Oh,
maybe that's
right in
why,
the beginning.
like, you could,
That would
like,
have been a totally different. I wonder what would happen with this movie if he did die here.
yeah. Well, I mean, the way they wrote it, obviously, he is a lot of solutions to a lot of problems. So I
Yeah,
mean,
well, somebody
that's-
else could have been though, right? This could have been the big Janet Leigh switch around where you think he's going to be in the whole movie, blah blah, and he dies here,
Yeah, possibly.
right? Like shit.
Yeah, but the
Oh, Iron Man's got to have his last fucking save the world moment, so that he's not so selfish.
yeah, it's just there is a like, and I know it affects some people more than others. There's a poetry in storytelling. The movie began with him. The whole thing began with him. By that poetry, it has to end with him.
I don't disagree with that.
It's
I find like a lot of this movie
yeah.
really just does.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, from a point of character,
Yeah.
you would say, yeah, like Captain America, he's the truest of heart or whatever. But that's not what that's about, right? That's like, you know,
And it's not even the truest for it. It's always just like it's always Tony Stark. It's always him, eh? Like fuck sakes.
but at the same time, if they're paying him that much money, they need to fucking.
God, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like
But he
you're
gets
going to war.
results. He gets results. He's like, you put this guy on TV, numbers fly.
Never.
They love him. The crowds. So you know, yeah.
He's never been bad in a movie either. Like even fucking Back to School when he was like a fucking emo teenager, he was awesome.
You ever
in that.
seen?
This was a great moment.
It's a movie called Shortcuts, and it was by Attenborough.
Yeah.
And he is so good in it. Like Julianne Moore. If you haven't seen that movie Shortcuts, I would recommend people watching it because it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
All short little stories of what's happening in LA or whatever.
Yeah. So Robert Downey Jr., he's got Sherlock Holmes 3 coming out. He's also in a movie called All-Star Weekend coming out that's being written and directed by Jamie Foxx.
Apparently, this movie is bananas.
Yeah.
And he plays a Mexican man.
Fuck.
And he was like, apparently a lot of them, it's a very offensively funny movie.
Oh, that's
where
fun.
you have a lot of characters playing like not blackface, but whatever face.
Okay.
So he's playing Mexican face, and you've got this guy playing a white person, and that person playing. And I guess he was worried about it.
Yeah.
But he was like, fuck. And then Jamie Foxx said to him, guys, I heard about this on. He was being interviewed by Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay.
Jamie Foxx, and he was talking about that movie.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. also rumored to be in the Black Widow movie because it is a prequel.
It's a prequel. That would be neat. I would like that, actually.
And people are already saying, even Joe Rogan, I guess he was talking to somebody in the MCU. He's like, you got to get him back. Figure it out. Like, you can write yourself out of this. This was a really cool moment because, again, you have to think how much time has passed, and it's like I try really hard to get my empathy.
They've seen Captain Marvel, right? Because of the end scene of Captain Marvel.
Interesting about this, though, they shot any of this in Avengers before Captain Marvel was written. That's why she's not in this movie very much, because they didn't know what the character of Captain Marvel was even supposed to be. They met with the directors and the writers of Captain Marvel and stuff like that, and they had conversations, but they decided to keep her minimal in this specifically because they were like, we don't want to affect your storytelling and your ability to develop her the way you want to. We don't want to give you a finish line that you have to essentially get
They did
to.
a really good job with that CG then, because it looks like he just lost the weight.
I know, it's getting better and better. They did the same thing.
Rocket and Nebula.
They did the same thing in Hunger Games with Josh Hutcherson there, and he looked really good. There's all the people who confirmed lost and stuff like that. I remember this happened in the trailer, and it was really like crazy. You're like, holy shit, because like a lot of these people you didn't even know. Like
they don't have like these characters up to their standards yet. But later on in this movie, it really shows Wanda in quite a different light. Let me tell you, like, wow,
that was her the way you wanted her to be.
Well, she ends up being one of the most powerful. I was going to say mutant, but Oh, apparently there's a big thing now because Black Widow accidentally called Hulk a mutant.
Oh, really?
And now like people are freaking out, like, because you like who cares? Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, Rocket's still alive.
This is great. I like that line too. That's a great response. I thought you were a builder. Maybe I am.
How long was he in space for, Tony? And Nebula.
I think it was in the matter of like months.
How did they lose them again? How did they get back on Earth and they're trapped in space?
Because they went to space and other people didn't.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, yes.
So like they remember
him, Spider-Man, Nebula, Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Well, him and Spider-Man ended up getting on that spaceship. With him, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange ended up being on that spaceship, which is how they got out that way.
Right.
And then everybody else was still on Earth, and they were fighting the battle like in Wakanda and stuff like that. His is good too. He gets some PTSD.
I like his acting here.
Yeah. And
I don't agree with his mentality here, though. But he's been out there for a while. He's freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah. God, he does. Like, he looks so bloody beat up. I love Chris Evans. Like, I really, really hope he reconsiders and does another one. Like, give it time. Like, it doesn't have to be in a couple
That's what I'm
years
saying.
or
We
something.
need another Captain America movie because he went back in time.
Yeah. Well, they actually said that might be why they did that. They're like, just because he's not the hero in this one anymore,
right,
doesn't mean anything.
But then wouldn't that technically affect now?
No,
right? If he was back in time fucking around, then things now would start to...
Like, it depends because, like, they talk about how everything is essentially whenever you make a change because you're present and then you're in the present and then you go back in time. So then technically that's your past, which means you can't change that type thing.
Oh, so it's they would be in an alternate timeline.
Yes.
And then he would,
Yeah. So they can either scoop him up from that timeline or he can just exist within that timeline. Well,
if they can go through time now, I'm pretty sure,
everything's open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's such a, like, the time travel thing is, I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know whether I find it hokey or...
I like to, they wanted to include her because her powers are so far beyond everybody else. And
not Thor's though.
Well, people even kind of argue about that. Like even the Russos said that they believe that she is the
most powerful. I disagree.
Like, I probably disagree too. I would say that Thor's probably the most powerful. Like Hulk can be the strongest and all that stuff, but his strength just comes from a thing, right? Whereas like Thor is summoning
That's
is
strong.
Yeah.
Well, no, but Thor's base power level is way up there.
Yeah, you're right.
This is what I want to see too. This is why I'm looking so forward to the new Avengers.
Yeah.
To see Hulk, because you know Hulk's going to want to fight Captain Marvel.
I know.
You know it, because he's got to be, if he's not going to be the top dog, he needs to at least know that he's tough as fuck.
Yeah. Well, there were rumors that there was going to be a Red Hulk in this movie. And I guess they had talked about it, but it wasn't going to be like General Ross. It was going to be basically what Smart Hulk turned into.
Right.
And so like that was his upgrade to the next big, and that was going to be him fighting Thanos. But they said that like this version of the Hulk is now in like a mentality that he doesn't like need to. He's like, oh, I got to go get back. He's like, I want to finish this.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be like it's not at the expense of his pride,
Right.
But I really like the combo of people that they actually chose, like, because it's like mostly the originals, but like there's a few missing ones.
You don't even know, bud.
I always like when he starts talking about superhero. I'm like, there's nobody less superhero. Like, you don't even have legs right now, homie. It's so I love Thor in this one. Little known fact: second highest paid person in this movie was him. Guess how much? Or no, that's not true. Highest paid person in this movie was Chris Hemsworth.
Really?
Yep. He made $80 million on this movie.
Wow.
And Robert Downey Jr. made 75.
No shit.
So Robert Downey Jr. made more for the two, like, because he made 75 for each movie.
Right.
And I think he also has he's got like
nice
money.
Intro.
Oh, it was a great. I remember they actually released that whole chunk on like as not a trailer, but like, hey, here's the sneak preview.
Oh, they found him.
This is cool too, because this is the first time for a lot of these people in space, which was
right. That's
thing.
right.
This was one of the Russo's favorite shots. Actually, was Captain America in space. You can see him all nervous and shit.
Oh yeah, Hulk's been to space. That's right.
Hulk's been to space, yeah, because they had the Ragnarok.
Ragnarok,
stuff.
Yeah. Captain America must just be like, what the fuck?
I know
is happening.
Yeah, everything. Well, it's just that thing where like everything's.
Yeah, right now they must be like, whoa, she didn't even wear a spacesuit.
Yeah. And that happened too. Like, again, we talked about that in our Captain Marvel episode, because she used to have to wear that mask to like do it. But now that she's come into her full powers, she doesn't need anything like that. Her body just protects itself. I remember that was a big thing, because like that, people were speculating like what that meant and all this kind of stuff. But that was the thing about the trailers, is everybody speculated about every goddamn moment.
I really do hope that what we've been talking about is true, and that in a couple years time, 5-10, we will see I thought that Disney Plus was going to do a show with Captain America when he went back.
Yeah.
And what would happen if it's his own timeline and then he runs into the Avengers again? They don't know him.
Well, but the thing is
or
like,
do they?
A big part of the Avengers was built around him. So if he wasn't found in the ice, he's not.
It'd be a different Avenger. Maybe they wouldn't even be the Avengers in his time period.
Yeah, maybe it's something totally different.
See, that's cool like things to explore.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the nice thing too, because I find all of it, like, you can't really go, oh, source material, because they do their own thing all the time. They're just like, oh, I'm going to do this other run, which has nothing to do with anything, like has nothing to do with any kind of storyline that's happened before. Like the burns on him and the injury.
He's fucked up.
I love, because that was one thing they needed to make very clear, was the fact that
it's like melted to his arm.
The fact that he's so powerful and it did this to him.
Yep.
Like that was.
Oh,
there's something they actually show here. If you really look, a Reddit person found in a quick thing, you see she puts her foot in the hand so he couldn't close his fist, because at this point they didn't know
whether he could use the gloves still or not.
Yeah, or whether like he didn't know they had the stones.
Oh.
This was good. Actually, this is something too. Disney has never had a beheading in a movie, and we're about to get one for the first time.
The first beheading in a Disney movie.
And because
and who's in the suit there?
It's
Rhodey?
No, it's Banner. There's no stones.
Ain't no gems in that fucker.
That's not worth anything anymore.
The glove's still cool as fuck, man. Come on.
Yeah. Chris Evans, we talked about him a while back. He's rumored for Little Shop of Horrors to be the dentist there, Orange Crivello.
Right.
He is in a miniseries coming up called Defending Jacob, and then another movie called Bermuda Triangle, which is directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed Doctor Strange.
Right. So did they talk about what's happening with Doctor Strange, the multiverse, or is it?
Yeah, it's
they
still
hadn't started
going.
filming or anything, so they could just postpone it until whenever, right?
Yeah, I don't know where any of that stands right now. They did switch directors prior to shooting though, so I think they've shot some of it already.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh,
thank God they were on a planet where he could breathe.
He's so good in this movie, and it's something that's just gotten better and better, and we've talked about it before, is like the performance of the actor coming through the CG is just getting so amazing now, and Brolin just friggin' crushes.
He does Thanos. a good. He said too that he didn't like his acting in Deadpool as Cable. I agree. I feel like, whoa, there goes Thanos.
Yeah,
she's like, oh.
And with blood too. I forgot about that.
Yep.
He's so like
just like you said before.
Well, this was something. There was a little bit of contention between the writers of this and Taika Waititi with Thor Ragnarok, because they were dealing with this, and they're hearing all these rumblings for Thor, and they're like, "What are you doing? Are you like turning him into the idiot or whatever?" Right. And then they had to he basically took him through. They had to take him through and show how they were using humor to lighten, because he's like all the tragedy he goes through this one, because he loses his dad, he has the thing, they lose Asgard and all this. He's like, that's why we're using this humor and all this stuff. And then so he helped them understand kind of what their thing was, because everybody was, again, when you're making all these at the same time, essentially, this got
5 years later.
This got an audible gasp in the audience in the theater I was in.
Shit.
And this is everything looks grittier now, and it's just. But I remember we were sitting there.
Looks like the Snyderverse.
Yeah. This is the Snyder cut.
Look at all the shit. Wow, 5 fucking years,
man. But I absolutely loved that. Was just the and you can see this is how they've cleaned up the roads. They just had to basically scoop all the cars up and dump them somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, they're all in what do you call it? Like support groups.
There's the director. That's Joe Russo.
Oh, it is him.
Who plays a gay gentleman in this. I love this though.
I think he was gay
because he talks about this boy. He talks about the man he dated. He could be bi, I guess, but I don't.
Hey, who knows? Well, he's got a boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Hulk.
He does have that, actually.
The glasses and everything looks just like him. He actually looks like a mixture of Mark Ruffalo and Taiki Waititi.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
And Jason Segel.
You know what I see that too. I've been recording that show, the Jason Segel show, but I haven't seen any of it yet.
Like the serious one.
Yeah, I haven't watched any. I
won't ever.
I want to record Devs too and see what that's all about.
Devs?
It looks weird. It's a weird one about crazy tech developer billionaires, and I was gonna say Ron Swanson. But he's in it.
Yeah. What's his name? I'm glad to see him get work. I like him.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's done enough stuff.
I agree. But he does live shows and stuff like that.
He does. He's still married to Megan Mullally, right?
He does a
She's
thing with
hot as
them.
Balls.
Mm-hmm. I like that this is the role that he is elected to take in this.
It's nice of him. Of course, he's the one who does it.
And again, it's all about the pure of heart. This is what we said. We said that from a revenge standpoint, that Thor should be the one to get the big kill.
No, but I think that Drax the Destroyer should have been the one to kill him.
You said that, very early on. But yeah.
Fuck that. Drax is the one who should have fucking had the kill blow.
Yeah. People would have been confused.
What? But I mean, everybody's lost somebody from Thanos, and he's not there now. So, fuck, here he is.
Exactly.
I haven't seen him in forever.
This was actually a really interesting, I mean, the rat thing is cheap or whatever, but it was a fun way
cheap?
I don't know. It was just kind of who's gonna press the button type thing. I don't know, rat, whatever.
Yeah, fucking A.
But it was cool to just have him kind of pop back and not know what the fuck's going on.
Because he's stuck in the.
Yeah.
This is all his plan.
Yeah.
Tony Stark can go fuck himself.
Well,
this was all him.
It was all his idea. Nobody knew how to do it. Tony's the only one who figured it out.
I know, and then Tony's like, I came up with time travel. Like,
Well, in fairness, he did.
Sure he did.
They actually dealt with like quantum physicists, like real legit scientists, and asked them, they're like, okay, we're not saying time travel's a thing, but if it could even theoretically be a thing, how would we go about doing it? And this is basically where they landed, and they started talking about like the Yep, Ken Jeong,
there he is.
Another part of people from Community being
what
in
is
Russo
he reading
Brothers
about? Yeah,
movies.
that's something.
I don't know.
I missed it.
But yeah, this is part of like just everybody who's in Community has to be in a Russo Brothers Marvel movie.
I love it.
I think the only one who wasn't.
Beautiful and non-aging fucking bastard.
I know.
You son of a bitch.
I want to French kiss him so bad. Could you imagine, like, what?
Oh, get that dog, man! Don't just walk past the dog.
Well,
Let's just take care of him.
Well, you don't know that. There could be somebody living in that house, right? But like, how do you wrap your brain around all of this information, having like not been here for any of it?
I also found that, well, exactly. Like, what the hell just happened, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you could see how long was they in there for shit went down.
Yeah, but it's just like everything. But I'm also a little confused. Yes, half of the world has been destroyed. It's like all the garbage is out and stuff. Have they not like in 5 years figured out, okay, we got to like have like a garbage, like a waste removal department again and all that kind of stuff?
Who knows? They just didn't even give a shit anymore. Maybe it doesn't even matter. There's not enough people to hire for the fucking waste management place anyways.
Yeah, everybody's too busy being a part of...
Okay, like the beginning of this movie... You know, and the marketing was like Ant-Man should have had a way bigger part.
Yeah.
Hawkeye should have had a way bigger part. I feel like this movie just did service to Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. And there's so many more characters that could have had better shit.
I think, to be realistic, I almost think it should have been a trilogy so they could have afforded to do that. There's just not enough. This movie's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
and it's
still
packed.
And it's still like they're missing things or not.
I know. And this broke my heart in a good way. I remember this exact moment, like because you could see right here that she recognizes. And I'm just like, again, Goose. This is why I like this movie so much. I don't know. It's my empathy antenna goes up like crazy. Something just crapped like crazy with my
zombie virus is happening.
Monitor.
Oh my god! It blipped before. It did a blip thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's my HDMI.
Oh, it's happening. It's back. Nope. It's gone.
It's fine. This is.
Oh, here we go. He's running. He's yelling. It's flickering. Okay, just to everybody pause. Oh no, it's back.
I have to replace this HDMI cable.
It's back. We're back. He's hugging his daughter. He's like, I haven't seen you in years, although it hasn't been years. Hasn't been years. He doesn't know. He's like, what's happening? Look at Paul Rudd act. Look at him.
Yeah, I got a complaint about.
He's so good.
My wife was playing a Nintendo Switch, and then that same thing happened. And she's like, "Oh, the Nintendo Switch is broken." I'm like, "No, it's the."
Yeah, thank God you said that before. She just whipped it out the window.
I know.
Like Jesus.
I know she's one to do that too. So
it's broken.
I've pulled a lot of technology out of the garbage to fix it with like a 2-minute solution.
It's good to see that the superheroes just eat sandwiches. Mm-hmm. You think with all that crime fighting that they would need more calories? Hey, there she is.
Yeah. So there's Carol Danvers' new haircut based on their comics and stuff like that.
Based on her new lesbian lifestyle.
Yeah, I guess.
I love, what's her name? Okoye?
Yeah.
Okoye. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. That's Denai Guerrera. Anybody who forgets, she's obviously in The Walking Dead.
Whoa.
I always wonder, I want to see from anybody else's angle, like how everything looks. It's kind of like when the Jedi had like their council meetings and people were holograms because they were off in other
places. Not there, yeah.
So I want to see what it looks like to like Rhodey, and he's looking down and seeing like all holograms next to him. I like too that she's just kind of like, okay, forget about the blonde shit. We're just going to let the red grow back out.
She smacked her head. There was blood in it. She left it. She likes the look.
Yeah.
Oh, Carol Danvers. He still doesn't believe. Oh, if you don't believe now, brother, man, you better.
Yeah.
She's hella powerful.
Yeah. Don Cheadle is, he's going to be in something Ratched. It's a prequel to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's all about Nurse Ratched and her, like, her story. like before.
That's
like,
an awesome idea.
I know, and it's a lot of people in it too. I can't really. Like,
Is this a new thing?
Yeah, it's coming out.
No. I mean, sorry. Like, I mean, like, was there a book or a screenplay or something already written on Nurse Ratched?
Can't tell you. I don't know, to be honest with you.
That is such a good fucking movie.
But then to go from there to the opposite thing, he's in Space Jam 2.
Oh my God, I wish I was in Space Jam too.
And then he's going to be in Steven Soderbergh's Kill Switch, because remember when Steven Soderbergh retired like 10 movies ago?
Yeah, like, it's like, what did he exactly retire from? I know you still make 1,000 movies a year.
Couldn't tell you.
Like, oh, look, she's upset.
And I'm really looking forward to the Black Widow movie,
I am too.
I think
More as time goes by, so am I. You know why? Because I'm missing the characters. It's been a really long time.
I know. It hurts. It's
been a really long time, and I want to sit there. I want to see the Marvel thing come up. I want to watch a Marvel movie. How long has it been? When's the last one we saw?
Would have had to have been Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Yeah, which was when?
Summer. Like
the summer that just passed.
Yeah,
feels like a lifetime.
Yeah, well,
oh my God, like. I don't know if I could reach. You know, like James Cameron's been like, oh, everybody's like. Superhero down, blah, blah, blah. I don't think so, man. No. Or like,
this is kind of proof, because I'm with you. I could go for another movie right now, and even another like Thor: Love and Thunder's coming, so we know that that's gonna happen.
I want more one-offs.
Yeah, I agree.
I want more. Like, give me a Better Ray Bill movie. Give me like just give me some random ones that don't even connect about characters. Don't even. I don't even want to think about the timeline. Yeah. Who cares where they are? Give me these characters. That's why I'm like dying for. Well,
I think there's more. I think more of that is going to probably happen now. I think it's going to be a little bit more loose or formatted, because the first one was built. Like, this story was built to be one story that just happened to be 21 movies. Right. I don't think they have a plan for another 21 movie story that culminates. Like, I think that they'll have a bunch of
well, they pulled it off now. Like, just to take a breather for a while.
Yeah. I think like the ones that exist, like your Spider-Man and your Thor and and Black Widow, even, like, they'll probably line up to give you a direction, because even the end of Spider-Man has given you a direction.
That's right.
And stuff like that. So you kind of know where you're heading for the next story, but I don't think that it's going to be everything, because I don't think the Eternals are going to be a part of it all.
You never know. You never know.
True.
I think that what they're doing now is essentially kind of what you said.
Yeah.
Is that they're, in a sense, rebuilding.
Yeah.
Because there was a definitive end to this story.
Yeah.
Not a definitive end, but a certain type of thematic end.
This was a great moment.
And now...
When he just shows back up.
I know, I love it. This was in the preview. Remember me? Hey, I'm
sorry. I've upset your jive here.
I think that they're going to they need to reestablish characters now, and then I think that they're going to be in a rebuilding phase for about 5 years or so, and then do the same thing again.
Yeah,
bring Galactus in, bring the Skrulls, and do that interconnected everything. Fuses together like Lego bricks.
Ooh, yeah, we talked about Lego earlier. The thing that I would really like to see happen, though, I want Fantastic Four to be meshed into this universe.
It's totally going to be Krasinski and Emily Blunt.
It needs to
Absolutely.
be. It needs to be.
The world will mourn if that does not happen.
I know.
I don't honestly think Emily Blunt is the proper one for Mrs. Invisible, but she's so good, I'll handle it.
Do you know who I actually think the proper one would be? Scarlett Johansson, and she's kind of taken up.
Yeah, too bad, right?
So it's just kind of
bad. No, there's somebody out there. There's somebody like who they would have cast as like the blonde chick from like the Addams Family. You know, or like the regular girl from like the Munsters. She's got to be that blonde. Like, doesn't have to be blonde. Maybe they will just switch races.
In a different
time.
Be a different. Yeah. Well, they did that switch for the other Fantastic Four, where brother and sister were one white, one black. Not even like mixed race, just one flat out white, one flat out black. You know how that happens sometimes. That would have been a funny story. Is like, oh yeah, remember how. Like, it was such a weird anomaly that like I came out black, and then you see like pictures of their mom with like it was her husband, but then you see like a black guy in the background like giving eyes or something like that.
High-fiving the baby.
I like this too because I
was hoping they were going to go through the quantum realm. Do they?
This is how they travel through time,
Oh,
is through
okay,
the quantum
cool,
realm.
yeah.
And it was exactly like you called it too, by the way. That is what you said. You said prior to this movie, you said that it's going to be about the quantum realm.
Oh,
It's gonna
totally.
be about
What
this.
else could it be?
Yeah. This is
Unless they're going to introduce something crazy that we don't know already that's been established.
yeah, exactly. Which would be nuts because when you can't establish 100 million things and then in the last movie go, now we're doing something different.
Right. What were you saying when he came out?
I was just gonna say about Ant-Man, so just because they basically were explaining everything that had been happening, with like the fact that it was 5 months for everybody or 5 years for everybody, but it was like 5 hours for him, and he was just talking about how time works different. He's like, so maybe there's something we could do with that. That's his idea. It's kind of like it would be kind of like me. It was like, hey, what if a clock that did this thing? And it's like, oh, okay.
It tells time. What?
Sure. This was an awesome moment too because I didn't realize I was only in my recent research. I found out that the Iron Man suit for Pepper is actually called Rescue. I didn't know that actually. But I like this world in the comics.
Oh shit.
In the comics, there's no. There is no Morgan Stark. It's like Howard Stark III or something like that, and so they just gender switched. Then
it's funny that in his whole techno world, I guess this is where he lives now, right? This wooden
Really though, with everything being what it was, wouldn't you look for kind of a gigantic change? He's like, they don't need me anymore. I don't need to power the world or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah. This is actually the first movie or the first time in any of the movies where he's played the proper age because they've done the 5-year time jump. He's always played 5 years younger than he actually is.
Right.
So now they've actually jumped 5 years ahead. So he's 50. So I think he's 54 in real life and he's playing 53 instead of playing 49 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Time heist. This is all Ant-Man's idea.
Mm-hmm. Nobody says it's not. He just doesn't know how to do it, and none of them do. So it would be like...
No, they get close. Hulk gets close. They get super close, and he's just like this.
Yeah.
Fucking Stark bastard. I still want to see him in the other one, though. I still love him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he is, man.
This is... his real his best pocket is this kind of naive kind of thing,
Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd. Just this kind of you're basically
optimism.
Yeah,
he's got optimism.
Yeah, what I love here too is everybody's motivation is so bloody clear and so understandable. They're all like, we have to get everybody back and all that, and he's like, I'm one of the few people who didn't lose everybody, and he's like, I can't risk losing everybody now because.
Whoa.
I totally get in his shoes I say the same shit.
No, I hear you because he's we did it all, man, and we lost.
Yeah.
I would have killed Thanos too. What were they going to do with Thanos? Keep him? Talk to him?
Well, I think they were trying to.
How could you trust anything he said anyways? Just chop his fucking head off.
Yeah. Well, they I think that there was some hope, everybody was working on hope all the time, right? So okay,
Hope Lang.
Yes. Everybody, no, but everybody's got the, they had the hope that, okay, the stones are destroyed, but he's still here. Maybe we can figure out what to do, to do next. And then that head gets chopped off and that's kind of the end of it, right? Boom. Look at how sexy my hair is. I am a handsome motherfucker.
You need a pretty big brain. This is right the moment that this movie starts to fucking lose me.
Yeah.
I know that he turns into Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah.
He looks like he's having the time of his fucking life while everybody he's ever known and loved has been destroyed.
Yeah.
Maybe he's been 5 years, so now he's just like, whatever, I'll just make the best of it.
I think he's found peace. Is what it really is. It's just because he's had an internal struggle that has kind of superseded everything going around
Because he lost
him.
Thanos the first time, right?
Well, but not just that, but just literally just between Banner and Hulk since the beginning of Banner and Hulk, since the gamma rays, right? Like that's the kind of thing where it's just, yeah, where it's like, I think he solved this problem and he feels so at peace with himself. He's like, I figured something out that I've never figured out before. I mean, I totally agree with you that, yeah, it's a weird tone for him to take. But
everything changes right after these things. He's dealing with it the way that he can deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like it though.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm not a. I think I would have liked it better had he been able to really. I know.
Right.
Had he really been able to Hulk, like at some point, I think I would have liked it better. But the fact that he kind of settles into this, because he's like, it's the best of both worlds. This is not the best of the Hulk.
Yeah. Is it? Like really?
He's like, he's like, I'm a slightly smarter Hulk, or no, I'm a way smarter Hulk, but a slightly stronger Banner. Like, it would have been cool had they maybe done a version where he could have turned himself into the Hulk, but made like the real Hulk, but maintained like enough of his brain so he could control going back and forth.
Well, they say that like the Professor Hulk,
yeah,
he's super strong.
Yeah.
Really, like, stronger than the actual Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, he is the actual Hulk.
Yeah.
Stronger than the original Hulk.
Yeah.
When he starts.
Yeah.
So he's still super fucking strong.
Yeah.
Like.
But yeah,
he won't go up when he gets mad. Like it doesn't go like it just strength and everything doesn't like raise up.
See, but I think that's what the thing I was missing from the Hulk in this movie was that moment. Like I wanted
everybody
Hulk
did.
Destruction.
Everybody
moment.
did. We're gonna get into it later on.
Yeah.
When I really start to be like, holy fuck, like.
So this is that moment. So like we've said, he's already decided that he hasn't lost anybody, and then he sees that picture and realizing he lost one person.
Something sparked. Something Ant-Man said to him sparked too, right?
Yeah.
He just said, he's like, oh, I got a little piece of, of woo.
Yeah, of woo, indeed.
Little Ric Flair.
That was how the Wu-Tang was born.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, here we are. He's thinking of the loop. I love how easy he just figures out time travel here, right? But he's been working on it for 5 years. He's super smart. They can go into space. Is it that far of a stretch to think maybe they could solve time travel?
Well, but also I think the big piece that Ant-Man brings to it is the idea of the quantum realm, right?
Which
so he brings it, and he's like, oh, okay. Well, if I plug this piece into the thing,
into the equation, then it will.
Then it like,
only mommy says that word.
I know. He's really good with kids and things like this too. Like you see like this. I don't know. I think there's a chemistry though that he just kind of has with everybody.
Yeah, pops. He's like, oh yeah, let's do this, girl.
I kind of just had a really interesting feeling of what if he was Captain Jack Sparrow. I think that there's something there.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got. Oh, that's just interesting.
Yeah, that is a neat actually. Yeah, I think he would be a good Captain Jack Sparrow. He should go as Captain Jack Sparrow at Heidi Klum's next Halloween party.
That'd work. As long as he's not going in like friggin' some colored face because of all the friggin' weird movies he's doing and stuff.
Because all the weird movies.
Yeah. Take a moment to talk about the Russo brothers while we're here. They're directing a movie called Cherry starring Tom Holland.
Yep. He looks like a big druggie or something. He's got a gun. He looks all... Ooh.
Yeah, he's an army medic who's suffering from PTSD, and then he's got to start robbing banks because he gets into like drug debt. And then they're doing a miniseries called Citadel that's starring Priyanka Chopra and Richard Madden, who plays Robb Stark from Game of Thrones.
Right?
So lots of stuff going
Starks. On. Mm-hmm. So we are now 43 minutes into this movie.
Yeah.
There has not been one true action scene.
Yeah.
That's different.
It is very different, and it's like there's a lot of shit to solve. But then the last half of the movie is basically go.
But like it's a strange because I like to think of it almost in the sense of like Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah.
Where the first one was all action, and the second one is like the repercussions, the before, the middle of what had happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I dig it because when you see the end of Infinity War. Mm-hmm. You can't just start. You know what I mean? There is so much fallout. There are so many questions. There's so much like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad there was such a large, Yeah, there was such it was such a large nonstop thing, that movie too, that you needed a breath. Everything
Infinity
had to
War was
slow
fucking
down.
bananas.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently the "I love you 3000" thing that comes from his daughter, actually that's Robert Downey Jr.'s kid said that to him. So he told the Russos about that, and that's how it got worked in. That's what I'm told.
That's kind of neat, actually.
Interesting too, just because we were talking about the Hulk there. Apparently Lou Ferrigno shit all over not just this portrayal of the Hulk, but basically the last few portrayals of the Hulk. And then I started kind of looking into it and doing the math, and it's oh, the ones he didn't like are all the ones he's not involved in.
Right. We're watching the movie with the subtitles on, and his name is Smart Hulk.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It doesn't even just say Hulk, and we would just assume that now he's this Hulk, right? It says Smart Hulk. That's fucked up.
I know.
This is before she dies. Black Widow.
Yes.
They did her rotten in this. They did her rotten in this.
Exactly. I love that line. That line's good. Apparently, if you watch him flipping switches, you'll see him flipping switches with a pencil because he can't use his fingers.
Fingers are too goddamn huge.
Yeah. But I like those kind of deals. They could have ignored that shit. They could have just had him go click and you not seen him do it.
But neat little.
His face looks so fucking weird.
Continuity.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's pushing buttons there. But
he's clicking. He's clicking.
There you go. You saw the pencil right there.
Yeah, they're starting to work the.
Yeah.
They're trying to work out the I don't even know if it's quantum physics. What kind of physics is it if you're going through time?
Quantum physics would be the one. I do actually interesting. I don't know this actor's name. This was his last movie. He died before this movie came out.
My back. I'm sure that's what he'd say because he's an old guy, right?
Yeah. Well,
he'd complain about something, right?
I love. This is such a crazy because they bring up the intensity with all this music and stuff, but it's essentially a comedy scene.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god.
This is a great line. Somebody. I like that. I like this.
Or just me.
See, this is the thing, and this is where the one real high point of Smart Hulk is the idea that you get Ruffalo the entire time.
I see it as a win too. What the hell? Maybe you didn't go exactly. I mean, Jesus Christ, Captain America, what are you expecting?
I know.
The fucking first time they tested, he went through 4 times through time.
It's again the theme of this entire movie is hope. Everybody, they get hope, and then it's swept out from under them constantly. So I get he's just dejected because they thought he's oh, we had this, and then he's we're not going to figure it out. He's we're missing
but also
something.
He's the kind of guy too. He doesn't know what they're talking about. He just sees a couple misfires and he's oh fuck,
he doesn't even know how a Walkman works.
He overshot there.
Yeah. Well, it's a faster car than he was. I think what would have been better is if he would have been
he turned into a baby.
Yeah. The only thing that would have been better is if he would have stopped and he just did undid the window and you just saw his hand. He's you come to me. You come to me. He's I'm not backing up for you. You come to me.
Ooh, that's a good. Did you hear what he said there?
Yeah.
Instead of pushing Lang through time, you might have pushed time through Lang.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, that's the thing. So everything is in itself it's such a everything is a team effort. It's everybody's strengths, right? It's Ant-Man's experience combined with him actually knowing what the fuck to do and how to build the things to do it.
Yeah, because he's just a thief and he just goes into the as much as all of them are scientists, I forget that Lang is not.
No. He's
Michael Douglas is.
Yeah.
Michelle Pfeiffer, I guess to a certain extent, yes.
Hope
him.
Is.
What are they going to do with fucking when Krasinski shows up as Dr. Stretchy Pants, and then he's way smarter than all of them?
That's the best.
Are they going to address that? Because he is way above all of them.
I'm certain they will. I actually really would like. This is when I would like. I didn't know much about the story. This is a great moment, giving him the thing, giving him the shield back. The Russos talked about because this is
who did he say made it?
His father made it for him.
Oh.
But the Russos talked about this, and they had planned on like the length of time between like it was Civil War to now when he lost the shield, right? So he was.
Oh yeah, look at this,
the
poor bastards. Here we go.
But yeah, so they were like, it's good because it's like we wait that time, but the audience also had to wait that time, so it's a real payoff for them to get that. Oh, that's brilliant! I love. I want to know how much people know about like these types of aliens and stuff like that now on Earth, because like people have seen these things flying around all the time and shit, right? Remember that they know each other from Ant-Man because he tried to rob this facility.
That's right.
And he got caught.
Like, and see what a nice Hulk. Look at him. He's the only person who cares about Lang.
I know.
They're really treating Scott Lang like the new guy, which pisses me off.
Yeah. Well, it's like, it's a thing too, because it's like to everybody but pretty much Captain America, he is. And he was everybody else's enemy. So, like, he was Iron Man's enemy and stuff like that. So
I actually never thought of that, actually.
So he's like, yeah, like, I want to listen to you, dickhead.
Well, no, but he was with Captain America.
Yeah.
It was him, Captain America, Black Widow. So most of the team was him on his side rather than Tony Stark's. Who's Tony Stark's have that was on his team? Nobody.
Well, no, Black Widow was...
With Captain America. And so was Lang.
No, Black Widow was with at the beginning with Iron Man
because Civil War.
Yeah, in Civil War, and then at the very end of that big fight, she ends up helping them. Like right at the very end, she helps.
Right, and then she kind of joins their cause.
So
but still, in this sense, then she's still with Captain America.
Yeah, she is now. But I'm talking like it's at the time like they fought.
There she is.
Yeah, she will be present in Thor: Love and Thunder as well.
Oh, good.
She's great in these.
This is it. I have a lot of issues with this, let me tell you. But I don't mean do I have a lot of issues because I don't really it's not like I can't fucking sleep at night because I think about this.
I hope it's not that deep.
Yeah, like Jesus.
Yeah. It's that thing. Well, there's a disconnect, I understand, of the fact that he's a god and he's reacting to things like a PTSD human.
I think he has PTSD.
He totally has PTSD.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the thing I don't like, I get that he has PTSD.
Yeah.
And I find that in the movie, it is made fun of almost.
Yeah.
And this fat Thor is like fat shaming. Like you got Buddy later on making fun of him.
Yeah.
And like he's really hurting.
Yeah. But the thing
really hurting. But what would you get in terms of these guys anyways? They're all ripped.
Yeah.
So you'd think that once one dude, superhero guy, sees like Superman comes to Batman, he's like, Batman, you're kind of letting yourself go a little bit here, bud. Like
my thinking isn't so much that they were trying to, like, at least from a storytelling standpoint, that they were trying to fat shame. I think that they were just trying to, they needed to show such a drastic change that know that something, just by looking at him, that something's
very wrong. Yes.
And I think that that's where, like, that goes. There's rumors, apparently there's people on Reddit who believe that Noob Master 69 is Loki.
Oh.
There's like a whole thing where they're
that is awesome.
There's
Look at Korg, eh?
Yeah. Oh, so brilliant. one of
is so killer.
Yeah, I know. One of many directors to make their way from the MCU to make their way into these two Avengers movies, because obviously we said what Kenneth Branagh was at the beginning of Infinity War. He was like the voice of like the distress call. Taika Waititi is the voice of Korg. And Happy Hogan makes his way later, so that's Jon Favreau. So lots of the directors from the whole story is good. This is the moment I love the absolute most.
I agree.
This is probably his best acting moment right here. It's just like, I want to actually just I'm taking off mute for a second. I'm gonna let you hear. Just the grab. So good.
We don't actually say that name in here.
Thanks, Corn.
He is hurting,
and I love and I think that that's what like to me I forget about everything. To me, I forget about everything else. I think the worst of what you're talking about comes in the preparation bit when he's like dressed like the dude and shit like that.
I love that though. I think that is a direct.
Yeah. I love.
I don't seem to be as offended at things now that I'm watching it a second time.
Well,
and I was so like, oh, what the fuck?
But
Why
it's
would
all
they do that?
It's
like,
all guttural reactions the first time, and then this time I think. I think
Thor. But
knowing,
this would be okay. So like we're looking at I'm talking against my own.
Yeah.
Whatever for this movie. But if you're going to, like you said, if you're going to show this character as being in trouble.
Yeah.
Mentally or whatever, that would be a way because he's a Greek god. He's chiseled in stone. Mm-hmm. That's a fake belly too, eh? That's not even CG. That's a fake belly.
Oh yeah,
that looks amazing.
They actually too.
So is mine.
I know when they made that, they actually like scanned his own body and they put the moles and stuff where they were. So like everything like that is an exact replica of his body if it was fat. Instead of just putting a fat suit on. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's an interesting twist. They said everybody would come up to him and rub his belly and stuff like that when he was on stage. He's like, I felt like Santa. But I love the look, and the only thing even better is his look at the end of the movie is just like outstanding.
I remember they spoke about too whether he was going to be Fat Thor throughout the movie. I believe in the end scene he is.
Yeah, you can't really tell.
He still is Fat Thor. Yeah. Myself, I would think is how would he have lost weight so fast?
Well,
maybe if he does a couple push-ups because he's fucking Atlantean or whatever. Not Atlantean. He's Asgardian.
Yeah. He could strike himself. He could strike himself with lightning and burn off every calorie. Probably. But this is awesome.
I forgot about this.
So this is supposed to be Tokyo. They shot this over 2 days in Atlanta, and actually the look of this is based solely on Black Rain, the Michael Douglas movie. That's where they got like the inspiration for kind of the tone. It does
look very Black Rain-ish. Neon Asian.
Yeah.
Tokyo, whatever here, right? Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, but all of this was shot like just to like
the thing with this movie too is that there's so much like. You could have an entire movie of what happened to him. What the hell is happening here? Who the fuck is this?
I know.
How is he in like Japan or wherever killing all these dudes and everything?
Oh, I would kill to see the Ronin story.
Right, the Ronin story, like when the Hulk turned into Smart Hulk.
Well, that's what I hoped. That would have been it would have been an interesting thing to see him go through the thing, even if it was just like a short film.
They should
like
do
a Disney Plus short film. Yeah. It would be interesting. Well, they're doing a Hawkeye show eventually.
Or even it could even be an animated thing. Yeah. Or something where it's still him voicing it or whatever, and this is the story you get.
Yeah. I
love work for Disney. What the fuck is this? Holy shit.
To me, Ronin is what Batman should have been according to Ra's al Ghul.
No, this is what Batman turns into.
Yeah.
When Batman starts getting older.
Yeah.
And he's not as spry, he gets brutal because that's all he can do but he starts getting more jaded. He starts getting,
But I was even just thinking because
he just slashed that guy's throat open.
But I was thinking because like in Batman Begins, Ra's al Ghul and all that, it's like a ninja thing. Right. So they have the swords. He even has the fangs and stuff like that. Like this is who Ra's al Ghul wanted Batman to be from the beginning.
Look at that. Ooh, that looks like a Ferrari or something right there.
Yeah, who knows? They didn't blow it up.
What a story right here.
It's so good.
You know what they did too here was they just turned everybody on that was, the big comic fans. I'm into comics. I don't read a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, I see the movies and this Ronin story was a big story.
Yeah.
So to do this is like all the people that read that whole Ronin story, like, oh shit, like we know all the shit that led up to this, which is really neat actually.
But the motivation, especially in this storyline, is so amazing because think about like he's killing the people who he's mad that weren't taken in the snap when his family was.
Yeah.
And he's just, I'm going to go through all of them until I'm done. It's kind of like Deadpool minus the like mercenary of it.
Yeah, he's lost. He's lost everything. He doesn't know what.
And and again, this is another speak of hope. Don't tell me that there's a way to fix this because, by the way, I've been a fucking monster and I don't.
Yeah. Yep. Good scene. Lots of good emotional scenes in this movie.
Yeah. I feel really good for actually what they did do.
They're good friends.
Like, I know he didn't get a lot of time in this, but like what they did do with Jeremy Renner in this was a much better service to him than like the first one.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's totally the dude. You're drifting left.
One side.
One side there, Lebowski. I love that line when he said that.
Oh, I know. Rocket. I love that too. It's a fun,
it's weird to have some characters be in the background.
I know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like to just say, oh, Rocket's there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun relativism too of the whole thing. Like he just said, you're only a genius on Earth. It's like, yeah, we've been doing shit like way beyond you for years and years and years.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have one Pym particle.
Yes.
That brings you back in time.
Yes.
What is the first thing you do when you go back in time?
Wow. Okay.
What is the first thing that you do?
Do I get to choose where I'm going in time?
Of course, you're going back in time.
Okay, I just thought maybe I was being sent somewhere and then...
All you need to go through time is Pym particles.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you do when you can go back in time once?
I think
you go get more Pym particles. Like, what the fuck? Like,
oh, sorry. I thought you were just asking me from just a perspective of like if you could go back in time.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. That's what
in the movie says. Why wouldn't they have gone back and got more like 1,000 Pym particles?
Well, that's eventually what they do, but they don't like.
What the fuck? Like,
yeah, you could list. Oh, this is great. This is listing all the time travel.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah. And actually, yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine. Sebastian Stan was the bully in that. Die Hard. No, not Die Hard. You could tell that that was.
What would you do?
Okay, but you could tell that was just like an improv, like where they just like, hey, Paul, just list a bunch of time travel movies. It'd be funny. What would I do? I think I would go back because obviously I'm not trying to like change any, like if we're like dealing in a world where we don't want to change shit and like that sort of thing. I just want to go back and see something that I couldn't possibly see today. Go back and see the dinosaurs,
right?
Or like something like that. Just like one quick go there and go back type thing. Not interested in seeing me
these
as a
are
kid.
the smartest people
Yeah.
on this planet, and none of them thought that the first thing they should do if they need Pym particles to go through time was to go get more Pym particles.
Yeah.
Like, what?
100%. 100%.
Renner gets a little scene here.
Yeah. This is a good one too.
Oh, this is a good one.
I don't feel bad, but it's like, it's unfortunate that these are the suits that they have to wear for this portion of the.
You don't like them?
It's, well, I get it. It's kind of like an astronaut kind of thing, but it's weird to see them in like, not that there was ever anything like, if this was the X-Men doing this and then they all of a sudden were wearing all stuff that made them kind of look like the original X-Men, like the yellow and stuff. I'm like, oh, I see that, but there's
super
no
cool. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
You know, this scene right here should have told me what the tone of this movie was going to be.
Yeah.
Because now he's gone back. I thought that they just did way too much service with like, oh, Tony Stark gets to meet his dad.
Yeah.
Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
And Thor gets to meet his mom again.
Yeah.
And Captain America gets to go back in time and meet his dad. Like, wow.
It's basically really what it is. And again, it's the time. This is the other theme. It's the loop. Everybody's closing their own personal loop in this movie.
I don't know. I found it wholly unsatisfying.
Yeah. No, I can see.
I want
can
more
understand
adventure.
that.
This is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
I want them to go back in time and there's adventure and things. Not like I spent $100 million in this section of the movie so that like Thor can meet his dad.
Yeah, but that's the
Whatever
thing.
the fuck, like.
But that is the thing about some comic books too, though, is there are movies, like there are comic books about like Spider-Man and stuff like that, where it's not about all the cool fights he has. It's about him not wanting to fight and not fighting.
I love this scene too because like look who they send. Like, you haven't really had a lot of screen time. You go test it out.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. You gonna urinate?
Oh.
You're on your own.
Todd's got to pee.
It's a long movie.
Yeah.
I'm drinking. I'm gonna continue drinking.
Yeah, we're having okay, so now here's where they're actually planning out the timeline of it all. It's kind of interesting too, and I'm assuming that most of this was planned like well enough ahead, but I'm sure that some of it they kind of logicked their way through kind of after the fact, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, hey, these two things actually line up, so it makes it a little bit easier for us to handle that because we had these things in New York and we have these here, and I think it's a little bit easier of the hand in the pants, a little Al Bundy there for you with. I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm trying to see what drink he's drinking. He was drinking a lot of ones that were, I think, specific to Ireland, they said, in the research I was doing. So now we're getting kind of the first real breakdown of all the stones at one time, per se. Like we've had obviously we've had in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think it was in Ragnarok, where like they tell you about, hey, here's the 5 stones and all that, and we've seen in individual movies what the stones do. But then this is the first one where basically everybody's getting explained to them all at once. He's so funny in these now. Hemsworth is, I think that Taika Waititi really pulled something good out of him, and it's really necessary because, again, this movie has really been super duper glum. I mean, they've inserted comedy when they can and stuff like that, but just the tone of it is so goddamn, and even him, he's still destroyed, talking about, oh, lost this person. Todd's still not back yet. This must be the world's longest pee. If he goes to poop, we're going to be here forever. We'll talk about, he's sort of back. He's going back for something else that is going to make him pee, I guess. Okay, so now we're into the Power Stones. So, and it's cool because the person who was in the movie where that actually mattered is coming up. So like Thor got to talk about the ether from Thor to the Dark World. Now he's talking about the Power Stone. I'll take you to space, and the Soul Stone. So Nebula is the only one who knows about it, even though like nobody else is really tied to this one because the Soul Stone was only in the last movie. She must have had a really big like they must have been sitting here for the longest time getting filled in on this space shit and all this stuff, like especially Lang. Like, gee, I like that at least she's taking notes. Like, she's the secretary. That's sexist. But what's interesting, like I was saying, it was like all the other movies have served like the information about the stones. Like each movie has had them, so you've seen them in use, and then like they've had Ragnarok and was it Guardians or whatever that shows that they all exist and all that kind of stuff. But like this is the first time where everybody's getting it all explained to them all at once. You see what just happened there? Yeah. She wrote things down and she just figured out that 3 of the stones were in New York at the same time. Yeah. I was wondering too how much of this was pre-planned and how much of this was just kind of well, no, but it was kind of like we always knew it was going to be like this, but then maybe they realized after the fact, hey, we can actually simplify this because realistically we can have all these 3 things here at the same time and we can deal with it like that. I am enjoying this much more than I did before. I'm glad. I think that I put a lot of what I wanted to happen as opposed to what did happen into the movie. Yeah. I will still never be happy that the Hulk never does get his real crack at Thanos. Yeah. 5 years have happened. A major thing has happened. Mm-hmm. People change, things change. This is another thing too. This is a thing because we were talking about Star Wars and you're talking about like going easy on it and stuff like that. I go in with no expectations. It's also a movie that you only paid $10 to see. Yeah. So like, should it really, you know, really ruin, that fucking movie? But like, I see people who go into, but I see people who go into these movies and go, it has to do this, it has to do this, it has to do this. You didn't write the movie, so it doesn't have to do any of that shit. Exactly. And you can't guarantee it. So like, why would you put that like on yourself? I love that. Look at that. That's so neat. That could be a neat keychain. That would be an amazing thing. Yeah. Do my best. I forgot that Rocket actually had as many lines as he does in this. There's a great, it's a deleted scene in the movie, I believe. I don't believe it's in the actual thing, but they talk about how the Avengers took on the Chitauri in the first Avengers movie. And then it was like, yeah, it took like forever. It took like all this time. He's like, it took you like a whole day to beat the Chitauri. It's like, why didn't you just blow up the mothership? And he's like, well, we did eventually. And he's like, geez, we've beat the Chitauri armies in like 30 seconds where we're from. Like,
What was this in?
it was Rocket talking to like all the original Avengers,
right.
going
Oh,
like,
sweet.
yeah,
Here we
going
go.
like, you guys are really shitty at beating these guys. Like we could have, like, if had I been here, you'd have beaten them in like 5 seconds.
Cool, because he knows.
Yeah. So this is something that got not spoiled, but kind of like it was that thing where everybody was saw everybody in their old costumes and stuff like that. And so this was the first time that people would start to assume that, oh, there's different, like there's something about time travel or flashbacks or any of that
Right
stuff,
here.
right? Uh-huh.
And when I watched this movie the first time, what I wanted to happen was, because I was worried about the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have his rage.
Yeah.
And I thought that Hulk was going to land in the street, turn his head, look at them, and then start fighting Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
And then they would have gone and done their things.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a major qualm I have with this movie is that when they go back through time, there's not enough adventure.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be, we're going through time now. Right now, this would be the Hulk
Yeah.
versus the Hulk.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this whole thing is happening, and everybody's like, what the hell? So then they have to go, here's the Sanctorum.
yeah. Sanctum Sanctorum.
But this is just me
No,
putting in what I feel should happen,
yeah.
like you said, in a movie.
There were actually a lot of different possibilities of mirror matches, as you say, because I mean there is one in this. It's Captain America.
Right.
That's the one they landed on, but they did actually have talks about other things. I actually think that he's the perfect guy for this spot. Like, it's awesome to see.
She knows, right?
Yeah,
She's
she knows
the
everything
Oracle
that's
or the
going on.
one or the...
Yeah. So she knows everything that is going on except beyond her death. So that's why it's hard.
This is such a good scene, though, between these two, eh?
Yeah. Oh, he was the perfect guy to send for this spot because boom. And
Ooh, she knocked you right out, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ugh, rough.
Ooh.
It's cool too because it gives her a little bit more
she
of
got some power, eh?
Yeah.
2013, remember the good old days? There he is.
Good old Loki. I love, like, he was just what a diamond in the rough he ended up being.
Yes, I don't
just,
think they didn't expect him to
no.
catch like he did, but you never know what's gonna grab and what's not gonna grab, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
sorry.
Yeah.
Also, by now,
yes.
okay, we know me. Okay, I like tits, I like explosions, action.
Yeah.
And now we're an hour and 11:40 into this movie, and nothing really has happened. So now in the theater, I'm starting to get antsy.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the action? And now he just goes and meets his mom.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is the volume 2 to volume 1.
Yeah. And there's also, I think, a very important thing for him because he's not mentally right. And to get himself mentally right, this is the moment he needs. Mommy will always sort you out.
Oh, you're damn right. It's got to be mommy.
But
well, some people are dad. Usually it's like girls' dad talks to the girl, you know, in the movies or whatever. It's like...
Yeah. Well, and so, but yeah, like this was definitely an important one. But it's also, he didn't need Odin's wisdom here. He needed mom's love. Right. And he needed to be able to close all that out. It's a very weird combination of the two of these guys together. But
like in these scenes that they go back in time, woo. I can't believe that even registered to him for one.
I know he shouldn't have done
what?
He should have just been like, hey.
Yeah, like what did you just do? I feel like that if they were going to have Thanos find out about this, that he is so good that when they got back to these times, that he's already there.
That'd be interesting.
Or the Dark Order is already there. So then you could give the Dark Order more of a bigger part that I feel that they deserved. You know what I mean? So they go back and then Hulk is fighting himself and then somebody from the Dark Order is there. And then the two Hulks are like, holy shit, who the fuck's this guy? And then it's like a 3-way where they're all fighting each other. Nice. And then he goes back and one of the Dark Order's guy is... Wait a minute, what?
No, I hear what you're saying.
This is more about the emotional resonance and of these characters because we've been watching these guys for so long.
Yeah. It's a different movie you could write, though, because, that brings you into an action where you have to then get to the snap. Like, you get to a spot where it's like you're in such mortal danger where you're like, it's all lost, it's all lost. You get that last moment, you get the snap, and then everybody else comes back. Right. And then that's where you, like, it's like the Lord of the Rings thing where the second army comes. And it's like, oh, okay, so we were about to lose, but now we got our back up.
Dig the whole thing, though, with... And it's Nebula... Oh, is this it right here? Or does
Which-
this take 50 days? This I hate. I hate this.
Oh yeah.
And not just because one of them dies. I just think it was unnecessary and stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Unnecessary. It was it totally didn't. The stone could have been somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think that this was just totally it didn't need to happen.
Well, the stone had to be. It did have to be. This is the soul stone. It had to be here because it's the only place it's ever been.
Like, and if you've gone back in time,
yeah,
like
yeah,
I don't know, just the time questions with that whole thing too. Does one of them really have to die to get it, or whatever?
Well, in this situation, because like this stone has never not been here, except for when Thanos got it. So you have two choices: you go back and you do this,
or you have to take it from Thanos.
Yeah, which you know you can't do because you
that's okay. Okay, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's good. This works. It's good.
Okay.
It's like therapy.
Yeah, we're sorting out our brains.
No, it's good. No, it's nice.
It's actually helping me make even some sense of it too. Like that maybe I subconsciously kind of tucked away in my head to accept it, but didn't really like. I never really had to like
justify
communicate that or
anything communicate like kind of work it out like.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting too because I want to know the circumstances of why they're having to have this fight. Because they're in 2014, I think they said.
13, I think it said.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah. But
where is this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're fighting somebody for Thanos. I just don't know who. So you can see the Chitauri army sitting there.
Oh no, but this is them.
Yes.
At the time that they're at back then.
Yes. So Nebula, the other Nebula is still around, like with Rhodey, and it's now these two are.
They're still together. Yeah. They're still with Daddy.
Yeah. This is actually Nebula is a really interesting tie here too for this movie, which is really like I thought that was used really well.
I agree. Here's where Spider-Man was.
He's
still
like
a buddy flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because her mind, which is crazy because when you think about the time travel things, if you went back in time and then it's a different. Yeah. Okay. So wait a second.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
If you go back in time and that makes an alternate timeline,
yes.
How is her brain communicating to her from the future or past together?
That's a great question. I think that's one of those. That's probably one of those ones you just have to fucking like. It's maybe because
we're already here.
Right? I think if I were to say anything to justify it, because they're now occupying the same space. That they're connected.
That's not bad.
I
dig that.
Like I don't have I don't have anything that's explained from the movie that says that. But that would be.
Yeah. But it wasn't a bad question.
Yeah. No, it's not a bad question. There's a million questions.
But maybe the technology is so good that it would.
It could, yeah.
But I think you might be right, actually, in the sense of that because they're in the same time-space continuum that.
And it would explain why it's never happened to her before.
Right.
That's
good.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
Right.
I always do it with my buddy Bill when we watch movies, and he's like, "What the fuck would this happen?" I'd be like, "Well, what about this?" He'd be like, "Why the fuck do you have to do that?" And I'd be like, "Well, we're already there. We might as well justify it."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because if you can get up, it's the kind of thing. If you can get on board with it, you are on board with anything. It's just like,
I can believe that he can fly, but not shoot beams out of his eyes. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the thing, right?
Right.
It's and there's always like those things. Well, I had that argument with somebody because when the whole Leia thing happened in Last Jedi, when she like called herself back and they're like, oh, she can breathe in space all of a sudden. I'm like, well, no, she's technically frozen, but also they don't do what we would do in space. They don't seem to do, because remember when they were on that asteroid in Empire Strikes Back and they're only wearing like little teeny tiny masks?
Oh, well.
And that's like more of a gas mask than anything else. So I guess that doesn't apply to this version of space. So I guess Empire's the worst one ever made. Like,
right.
Like that's.
I love too, because in the whatever here, the closed captioning, it just said 2012 Captain America.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat, actually. I kind of dig that.
It's interesting, I guess, because now there's in this spot at the very least, you do have to you do have to like put the difference between them and stuff like that.
But
right?
if you were deaf or something, and you were watching that scene there, you don't know who's really saying it.
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
would guess that once you're looking at Captain America, that would be 2012. But I think it actually helps just to be like, this is the 2012.
Yeah, let's just break.
Because then, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense because then they see each other, and then it would just say Captain America, Captain America.
Yeah. That would fucking...
Some of them, they really, I have really got to give props to whoever did that for this movie.
The captions and
whatever,
stuff?
because like that's a really good idea.
Yeah. Movies like this can be complicated like this too. This is great. You take the stairs.
He's like, fuck you! Like, stop it.
It's interesting though because
like to be included.
Well, and they gave him more dialogue, which I found kind of weird because then once you get when you get to Avengers 2, that's all gone again. And
that's a good point, actually.
So because he doesn't talk again until Thor Ragnarok. Really.
That's right. When he starts,
Because he only said in the first one, he only ever said puny god. I love this scene because it's a few things. It's it's like
we get Grillo again. Yeah. Did they refilm this or is this?
Oh yeah. This is not the scene from Winter Soldier because this is the scene. This is the end of Avengers where they've just taken the staff, which it's now in Hydra power. They're trying to get it from them because now they know these guys are Hydra. So now he's like, okay, I have to get it. So now he's got to trick them here. Yeah, he's awesome. I've seen him.
I do like him too.
He's on some. I saw him on some. What's it called, late night shows and stuff like that. That's brilliant. This was another thing too, because a lot of people thought that he was gonna end up being like the secret Hydra agent and stuff like that.
Because that was the story.
Yeah.
That eventually more recently happened. You think you just jump right down the middle?
Well, I thought
like that's even a problem for him, right?
I know. Well, no, but the thing is the Hulk is born out of anger, so he just has to be mad about it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a bother. He's just pissed.
Mad about it, right?
You know what would be really good though is if you would have seen these scenes in Avengers where they were walking away and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then you would have seen that guy in the background with the suit, and then only to find out that was him, like Back to the Future 2 style.
Right.
I'm going inside you.
I'm going inside you.
God, what would you do if you could Ant-Man? Shrink down. God, I don't even care about So an interesting thing. So a couple things. So Robert Redford, this is the first time he's ever played the same character in a second movie.
Oh.
He's never done it before. Also, when he was shooting this movie, he announced to everybody who was there, this is my last movie.
Oh, no way.
So he announced his retirement, or at least a semi-retirement, as he says. But, like, I don't know what that necessarily means.
This is a wonderful moment, though.
Yeah. Promise me you won't die.
Like I said, I'm enjoying this much more than I did before.
That makes me happy. I mean, like... I don't necessarily want you to have to like change your mind, but if you see
I'm not
things,
changing my mind. I'm being objective, and I'm, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
With the first time I watched it, I was so emotional of the last one and the this and the that and the.
I get that.
Oh yeah, he pulled the thing there, but he must be like, don't kill me because then.
Well, that's what he. And that's what he said because he even asked. He's like, "Are you sure I won't kill you?" I love Loki. He's like, no, you'll just give me a mild cardiac arrhythmia.
See, he is Asgardian, and he is catching on to things right now.
Yeah. Well, he's no dummy. And I love this
alive.
kind of whoop, hello.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
What anybody says.
Yeah.
I believe an Asgardian can do that right there.
Yeah.
And move to another timeline and still be himself.
Yeah.
I believe Loki is truly alive, and I believe that was it.
Yeah.
I don't care about what you're talking about. Timelines. Oh, he went left in this timeline.
died.
He's alive.
Yeah.
He's totally fucking alive.
Yeah. No, I get that.
What an awesome moment.
I get that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with him. Like, what the hell is his show going to be about? Like, that's the thing. People are getting so excited about the TV things that the movie people are starting to go, I got to look into this TV shit. Because, like,
Right.
well, no, when we were talking about
here
Damon,
we go.
I love this, but we were talking about Damon Lindelof, who was talking about wanting to do like a Marvel movie and stuff like that, and it was because of like what he saw with WandaVision and stuff that made him like, God, I gotta figure out.
Oh, because he saw the style of it or something,
Yeah,
right? Like he
and
saw maybe even just the promotional material.
I think
looked,
that you're well, and well, you know how like the insider shit is. He's probably seen more than we have, right? But the
do they allow that kind of thing? You think?
if you're having talks with people or if you're friends with people,
They
who
may
are
be like,
working
hey,
on
we're trying to
things,
talk you into doing this. Look at this.
Yeah. Well, either that or just the fact that like if he's friends with somebody who is directing an episode or something like that, he's like, hey, come see what we're doing or whatever. Come to the set, you know? So I think that this was the best mirror match to have, if for no other reason. It's not CG. That's one part. And because you can have the mask on one and the not mask on the other, you don't have to worry about like the always being over one person's shoulder type thing. Sometimes you do.
I'm you fucking idiot.
I know. Like, how the hell do you explain that shit, right?
You could have just said I'm you.
Yeah, but he's like he thinks he's Loki, so he's just like, yeah, that's what Loki would say.
Bucky's alive.
Yeah, that's that. Can we at least agree that that's better than saying they're gonna kill Martha?
How do you know the word kill? How do you say that to me?
That was the least of your worries. That was like of the whole sentence. That's like, yeah.
You're damn right. That's America's ass, baby.
Apparently, that was an argument amongst the writers and the Russos whether or not they would even include that. They put the hat over his head, over the Hulk's head.
She's talking to
his
not even his soul, but his just Banner's consciousness.
Yeah.
Like she's broken his consciousness out. Not as if to say like if he could die, like this is his soul because his soul is intertwined in the Hulk that's passed out.
Yeah. Boom. So this is, I think, the best explanation you get to anything in this. It's also the only one because there was a lot of questions about, well, why can't you just like bring back the people who were like killed? Why can't you bring back Natasha? Why can't you bring back original Gamora and stuff like that? Well, they died. They didn't get snapped. Like she explains that Thanos wills them out of existence. He doesn't kill anybody. He just makes them disappear. And he's like, so you can undo that. You can't undo killing someone. Bink.
He is probably the best one because he's got a brain in his head too, so we can explain like, listen, we're gonna go back in time and then. I like that they brought her back.
Yeah.
What a fucking movie. How ambitious.
It was.
Hey,
really.
like, cheer.
And it's only getting more so with the Multiverse of Madness. It sounds like it's like a fucking crazy.
I think the Multiverse of Madness is going to be the next one that really connects everything.
Yeah. Probably, because I think it's going to bring in some new stuff. Like there was rumor that it could potentially. This is a great moment because it's the first time she doesn't know something.
Ooh, that's right. Because he's like, oh, he gave it. Oh, because that means she's like, he's got a plan.
Yeah. Maybe. Nope.
She's like, no way.
And the thing too, it's like, it's one of those things because I know people were mad about like the whitewashing of the ancient and stuff like that. I was like, she's so fucking good that I can't get mad at that.
I did.
Yeah.
So what was cool is that Stephen Strange is a big thing with this. He saved everybody.
Yep.
He kept them all in some weird wherever the fuck, right? Like, she gives it to him too.
Yeah.
Look at this.
And that's that great moment where he, like when he says in Infinity War, he's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I protect your reality, like dick," or whatever he says.
Strange is meant to be the best of us.
Yeah.
So he must have done it for a reason.
And that's the thing too. And I think that that's another, dimension in all of the who's most powerful and stuff like that, because while like the Hulk or Thor or any of those guys could beat him in a physical fight, he could put them in the friggin' like the mirror dimension and they're just stuck there forever.
Done, yeah.
It's like my thing of if you want to beat the Hulk, just go put him in the sun. He can't get out.
Like when Stark was talking, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Ebony Maw.
I didn't know if you were going to see these guys or not. I was like, what the hell? Like, who's the bad guy? Like, what's happening? Like,
they're not in it very much. I think he's got like, I think his character has like the least of the screen time. Yeah. He's pretty cool. I wish he would have been like a celebrity.
I know. Well, no, the thing was like in the comic series, we talked about this before, the Dark Order was very hard to beat.
Yes.
Like they were almost, each one of them was almost as strong and tough in different ways as Thanos.
Yeah.
So to defeat them was like, holy shit.
And that's like, to me, because you know how we were talking about like getting a lot more people involved and covering a lot more storylines and stuff. I think that if you would have broken this up into a 3-part, like Infinity War, a part 2, and then this being part 3, then you would have probably just focused on the Dark Order in part 2. And then it was like at the very end, Thanos scoops.
And then over the 3 chain, you could have a couple of them fighting Dark Orders, and over the course of the movies, eventually in halfway through 2.5, this person defeats that one. You're like, holy fuck. Or great. I wonder. Damn.
Or over the course of the first 2 movies, they are having to get through the Dark Order to get to Thanos. And Thanos is getting what he wants the whole time. He's like, they're basically his offensive line. They're doing the CSI thing.
Yeah, exactly. Enhance.
I could see the license plate on that car.
I find it more. Is this a thing like like a trope? Is this like a thing that now we're just accustomed to?
What's this?
In movies, like enhance.
Oh, yeah.
Enhance that.
Right?
At
so
the
now
very
we
least,
just
believe it.
Yeah.
But
at
I find it more believable with them out in space. With their technology and everything, right?
Something that's way beyond ours.
Yeah.
And I like that Thanos is also smart enough that he can kind of wrap his brain around what's actually happening. He's like, oh, we got some time travel shit going on here.
Yep.
And they're like, you're high. And he's like, you're drunk. That's the old Arrested Development thing. It's like, you're high. You're drunk. Renee Russo, I love her. So I love that she agreed to do these movies, you know?
Why not?
I like the scream too.
She knows too once seeing him.
Yeah.
Because she probably just saw him, right? Like,
well, and she also saw, like she takes one look at him and figures it out too. I would have loved to have seen more of her story too, because she's like a witch or something like that. And it's like, that's why like Loki has his powers and stuff, because she taught him like the witchcraft and all this stuff. Like he's not
like the magic.
Yeah. And that's not a magic that Thor has or Odin has, because it's not theirs. And that's also speaks to the special relationship between her and Loki.
Do they have to make the X-Men story match up with the MCU? Why can't they just start and it's their own story?
Yeah. I think.
Why does it all have to connect?
I think they just want to, at the very least, just leave a little opening. I don't even necessarily think that they're going to like just build it directly into the MCU, but they're going to create something so that you know that somewhere out there there's mutants. This was actually a shot taken directly from Thor: The Dark World. She did not shoot an extra scene for this movie.
Right. I remember you saying that.
But she did go to the premiere and stuff, and she is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Of course she is.
And she is going to be Lady Thor and all the good stuff. But
that was, I believe, in this movie, the best acting comes from him. That scene right there was amazing as well, where he's like, I really need your help. Yeah. And like I said before, I'm super impressed with the words.
The captions.
Yes.
So let's give it up to Disney Plus captioning that, because we are watching this streaming
It even
on Disney
said,
Plus.
when he said the line, it said in brackets, voice cracked. Yeah. And then he says the line. I was like, wow. Like,
yeah, they don't always do that. Some of them are pretty lazy.
A lot of them are.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the best closed captioning of a movie I've ever seen. I can't get over it.
Yeah, you just can't wait to be deaf. I can't. Any day now, come on.
So I don't have to hear any bullshit.
Yeah. Apparently, there was a thing where Tony Stark was going to visit here instead of Thor, and then he was going to fight Idris Elba.
See, man.
That was going to be, and that could, because he was basically, the idea was Thor was going to come in his Iron Man suit, he was going to enter stealth mode, and he was going to be invisible, but Idris Elba can see him still, because he sees everything, and then they have that fight. But then they felt it was probably better for the story to actually have Thor be where he should be. There was also a bit where there was going to be more of a fight between him and like everybody about getting the stuff, like just extended.
Like also back, I also had a problem with some of the characters taking a backseat to these guys.
Yeah.
But they're the meat and potatoes of these series, right? Like Rocket's going to be in so many more movies. And so many more stories.
Yeah. Well, there were two things that I think they were
Eat a
considering.
salad.
I know. The two things that I think they were considering. One, it was potentially going to be all three of these guys' last movie. Oh, this is great. This got such a huge cheer.
Yeah.
Again, this is what I love about going to movies, especially on opening night. You got a full crowd and stuff like that.
Still worthy, baby.
The crowd went nuts on that bit, and it was awesome. When again, Goosey's because I remember
Here he is.
Yeah. This is the best when you get the outside of the music thing too. God, I forget how good Guardians of the Galaxy was just because it's been so many movies away. I gotta go back and watch that one again. Let's go do all the movies again.
Oh my Lord. No, let's do commentary of our commentary of the movies.
Yes. That's what we could have done. We could have done our 24-hour thing is just nonstop these movies.
So when is I guess they're gonna I wonder if they had to change. He's like, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
I just like hearing it without the thing too because it's so different. Bonk. It would have been amazing if there was like an alternative version of the movie where like you can go back now and watch Guardians of the Galaxy where he gets knocked out and everything gets like caught up from there. He's like, what the fuck?
That would be crazy, eh?
Yeah. I love this too. This is such a human thing, right? Skip the Temple of the Powers.
He's right though.
It's true.
He's so right.
It was just,
but a lot of his shit seems to come from like movies because he was the one talking about. He's like, Back to the Future and
burn that hand away. Reminds me a bit of what was it? iRobot. They had like the same thing in iRobot because the bot's like shell was stronger than the others, so he could reach into the thing.
Jeez, girl.
That's
a Terminator round going.
Legit, just gonna say it's a T-800 hand.
Holy fuck. She is gorgeous, eh?
Yeah. I like that because they're the two bionic people. It's kind of like they did that on purpose, and it seems so random.
They did a lot of things on purpose in this movie that work out, and some of them don't.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
She was 1 second away from getting out.
Fuck.
Oh, you imagine having those forced cluster headaches?
See, here's the thing.
Yeah.
But I think that you're right. If you had to justify it, because she was in the same timeline, it would have a Thanos is a smart fucker,
well, because she probably never changed her Wi-Fi passwords, so they're always connected. It's still 1, 2, 3, 4.
And now he's looking at himself.
God.
So now he knows that his plan might not be...
Yeah. Well, he knows he got what he wanted. He just knows that...
That he dies.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't even know that yet. We're not there yet. Uh-oh. There. Hello. It's nice to be,
Smart guy.
Yeah. I find them all. It's you can't past tense something you haven't done yet. Even if you've seen video of it happening. It doesn't
of yourself doing it. I would be suspect. That's something I don't even know what I'm looking at.
I don't even think though, like, you know how they talk about like in like the Matrix and stuff like that, they're like, you wouldn't even be able to wrap your brain around like coming out of like the Matrix, and then like if you were too old and stuff like that, your brain wouldn't be able to accept it because like the reality of it and stuff like that. That's like if somebody showed me a video of me in the future, I think that's how my brain would go. I think my brain would just like go into self-destruct, and it would just be like, I don't know even.
This is the moment you kill Todd. And you're like, what?
What? I didn't do it sooner? This video isn't from tomorrow?
Poor Nebula.
I know.
Oh,
she really is. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's like it's almost like a sad puppy, like an abused child.
That's it.
Kind of
like an abused puppy kind of a thing. Yes.
Like, just like all I want to do is have you love me. but then like decisions that
Oh,
I
and
haven't
now
even
she
made
knows. Yep.
yet. Yeah. Shit. That would have been the best.
So there's still. I know there's a lot of movie left, but there still has been a real action scene.
Yeah.
There's been a little tussle, muscle here and there.
Yeah, you get I think like a scene like that gives you emotional action, and then of course the music doesn't hurt, right? Of the,
You know what? Them going back in time was not nearly as long as I felt it was the first time I watched it.
yeah,
I know he's still there.
yeah. Well,
Or is he?
There's another. Yeah, they're still back in time, and they got.
Oh,
one
that's
more,
right. Yeah.
They got one more jump to do.
Yeah, because they fucked up.
Yeah, I thought here that there was going to be a sacrifice because they were talking about like, oh, there's only so many things. So I thought what was going to happen. I thought Captain America was going to give up his Pym particle and give it to Tony to go and fix the problem. Like you can go back and then go back type thing.
He says it right there too. He's like, "You ruined the time heist."
I know. Yeah. So right when he said each, I was like, oh, you're going to have a thing. So he now figures out what you figured out at the beginning. But again, you've seen the movie, so I don't know.
No, but I thought of the moment that I saw
Okay.
it. Like, why
Yeah.
would the first thing? Okay, it's like
Yeah.
we've got one shot
Yeah.
to, we. I don't even know how to put it. Yeah,
No, I
fuck it.
understand.
Like, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I understand
Why
what
would the
you're saying.
first thing you didn't go? Okay, we need to go back in time. The only thing we can go back in time with is a Pym particle.
Yeah.
The first thing you should do is go back in time and grab a shit ton of Pym particles,
It's the
and then
It's the Million Wishes plan.
yeah.
It's I wish for a million wishes. Go get the fucking Pym particle. Then you could screw. Actually, that would have been interesting too, in and of itself, because you could have screwed. They could have screwed it up a bunch of times. Where they
Look at
keep
the poor guy. Look at they're like they just choose him as like a secondary. Take this back to whatever.
I know. Yeah. Steve. Well, it makes sense for Captain to be there.
America, Rogers.
Right? There's a. Yeah, it's fine. We'll be good.
Pissant. Did not see. I don't like it. I don't like the way they talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that they just.
Pissant.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, they just needed to fit something in where he could say the word ant. There were no light insults with the word ant in it, I guess.
I
don't
know
like
what?
your
I didn't
antics.
even. Its ant is at the end.
Yeah. So they.
Yeah.
This was his official last. It wasn't the last one he shot. The last. What's it called? The last cameo he shot, but it was the last one that ever happened, and then they like de-aged him for that, obviously.
Oh, and this is where he runs back into her.
There
He gets to meet his dad, but
Yeah. There were rumors actually that Mark Maron played
Mark
Stan
Marrow.
Lee. No, not Mark Marrow. Mark Maron, the comedian podcaster dude, that he was Stan Lee in that shot because it looked a lot like him. And
Does
they're
he
like,
look like him?
In that shot, because he's got the dark mustache and and there's Yvette Nicole Brown
there
also
she
from Community.
is!
This actually was a reshoot.
Oh, I forgot about her in this.
They like last minute they needed to reshoot a couple of scenes, so they
She was in
cast her.
Community, right?
Yeah, she was also
I
in
like her.
So she is. So now, if we count everybody from Community who was in the Russo Marvel movies, Yvette Nicole Brown, Danny Pudi, Jim Rash, who was the dean. We just had Ken Jeong. If you count some more outside Marvel movies, Donald Glover was in Spider-Man.
That's right. He was the the second one.
And then so that's technically a Sony, but technically a Marvel, whatever. And then you have
It's Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
It's Marvel.
I know. And then Joel McHale was in Spider-Man 3, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3.
He is?
Yeah, he plays some.
Oh,
dickhead.
like my God, I checked out on that one.
Oh, God.
I missed him.
I checked out a minute and a half into it.
There it is. Wouldn't that be neat to have one that glows?
Oh man,
Like
I'm
as
sure
on
it
your
exists.
thing, But maybe it could be like my mom has this like light,
Yeah.
but it also shoots like potpourri.
Yeah.
It could be that thing. It's also a Febreze.
I was kind of interested too because they
Is
were.
that his dad?
That's his dad. But I was interested because two different people have played Howard Stark, and I wasn't I had a feeling that this could happen, but I wasn't sure which Howard Stark was going to be there because usually the older he's the older Howard Stark, and the younger one is Dominic. I can't remember his name.
Oh, right.
But he was in like.
That's
Agent
who I was
Carter and-
expecting here, even though
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
I know. So
I was looking for the one that Bucky killed in.
this is the one that Bucky killed.
Oh, is this? Is this the one?
Yeah, no, but the one I'm thinking of is the one he was
No.
in. He was in Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yes,
he was
that's
Howard
the
Stark
one
in
that
it.
I was expecting to see
Yes.
here, even though I've seen it.
Yes.
I prefer him better.
Yeah.
I like him.
Oh yeah. No, he's good. Yeah, John Slattery.
He
He's
gets
great.
to meet his dad.
And he's
You know,
basically he took his suit
and-
from Mad Men.
And here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
These three characters, Thor, Captain America,
Yeah.
and Iron Man, they made this universe
Yes.
with their solo movies.
Yes.
So
There's-
it makes sense. Look at that one. It makes sense that they would be the ones to get the service
Yeah.
in this movie.
Look at him. All the de-aging.
Oh my lord!
This was I can't remember the movie that they said, but this was his hair is based on the movie that he had done.
You can
at this
tell when the
age and
camera
stuff like that.
changes that it's like a CG, like
Yeah. It's still not like I mean
pan and scan.
Yeah, it's still so much better. Like remember like in Matrix 2, like when he went from human to CG and it was so obvious. I'm like it's so like the improvements are just like
Oh, of
leaps and
course.
bounds. Eh?
I hope that Disney.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll go back over these and gussy up the special effects, or will they just leave it?
I think they're just gonna leave it, to be honest. with
Probably,
you.
yeah. I would too. I
Like,
guess.
Like I don't think that they're so broken.
So,
that they're-
sorry. What
Yeah.
I want to say before is that we're gonna get more Pym. We're gonna get more Ant-Man. We're gonna get more of the Hulk. We're gonna get more of the characters that can't say for you, but me personally, the characters that I thought were not represented properly, we will see them more.
Yes. And that was what I was saying
This
before.
is like the swan song for Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah, and it was potentially for Thor too.
Right.
So,
you could tell they must have changed their mind or something, because if all three of them were going to die or something, right? Like,
so I think that was a big part of it, and it's exactly like you said. The other guys have a future, and they're gonna get a lot. And I don't know. It's
as we watch this film, my rating of it is raising.
Good.
It didn't for Captain Marvel. I didn't like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it was like Captain Marvel. You kind of plateaued for a moment. You're like, oh, okay, this is it's as good as it's gonna be. Isn't it?
I was like, no.
Yeah, I
thought the last half of Captain Marvel was just like, bleh.
Yeah, it's just whatever, but it's fine. I loved Peggy Carter. I loved the show
Me
Agent
too.
Carter.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the show.
Yeah.
But I liked her acting.
Yeah. It had such a wonderful tone that they took with it. It had such like a Whedon kind of feel to it and stuff like that. And they were dealing with things that weren't like super duper supernatural, but just weird at the time, like the kind of things that would make you want to invent S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
It's one complaint I totally get. I'm like, you can't be that close to a person and not have them look at you. Like, at least that should have been a two-way mirror or something like that, right? But
I wish that at some point in my life that I could look at somebody like he is looking at her.
Yeah. You were looking at me like that.
Like a piece of meat.
As soon as I fit your bag of like fried chicken in the fridge, you were looking at me exactly like that.
Oh, they're so in love.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a nice concept.
Yeah. This is a nice thing too. Well, like it's again, like I said, he's closing the loop. He's
On his
like,
son.
on his entire life.
He's talking about, no, I'm sorry. I mean, he's talking
yes.
about him.
Yes. Yeah. He's like at this point, he's not born yet. His wife's pregnant with him. So now he's all nervous about being a dad, and he's actually seeing, he's like, oh, wow, you actually gave a shit about being my dad? Cool. And the cat's in the cradle. Well, we'll take a moment. Let's talk through some money and stuff. So the movie, it was what was the budget? I think they said it was $395 million.
Dear God. Is that just for this one?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It was, it's considered the most expensive movie ever made. The second
Just
one.
the second one.
Yeah. And like,
So the two of them together cost 600 mil?
I think it was about 600 million for the two of them. Yeah.
Holy
But it paid dividends.
course it did.
Domestic, it made $858.4 million. It is the highest grossing domestic movie. Oh, there is Jarvis, who was in Agent Carter.
Oh, no way.
So that is why Jarvis, the robot or the AI, is named Jarvis, because he's named after that guy. But he is the only person who started on one of the Marvel TV shows and ended up on a Marvel movie.
Oh.
Anybody else has gone the other way. Like Peggy Carter started in a movie. Coulson started in a movie, and stuff like that. So
Oh,
that's
she's
an interesting
rumbling
one.
herself.
Yeah.
Lick her
another
pussy.
Scissor.
What the hell?
Scissor hard.
I know the first moment I see myself, we're going to bang.
Yeah.
We're not fighting.
We are going to play swords until
Oh,
one
my
of us
Lord.
comes.
Nobody's going to love my stink but me.
So it made $858.4 million domestic, set the record $2.8 billion worldwide, beating Avatar, beating thing. James Cameron, it was a good sport about the whole thing, which was nice to hear. He had, when he beat Titanic, he sent a message, and then he sent another message after it beat Avatar, congratulating him. But when it beat Titanic, he sent them a picture like on Twitter, which was the Avengers A, like sinking
the Titanic.
So
I'm going to tell you right now that I think that Avatar 2 is going to kick fucking ass. I don't mean whether in a movie like a do I like it or not.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything but make fucking billion-dollar movies.
I know.
And I'm telling you right now, the CG, the 3D is going to kick fucking ass, and it's going to make a shit ton of money.
I think the second
do
one
you
will.
think it's going to beat this? Avatar 2.
I have a hard time believing that it'll beat this because, like, think of the build-up. Like, I know what he's done in the past and stuff like that, but think of the build-up that it took to get to here. Think of when, like, Force Awakens, how excited everybody was, and it only made like $2 billion or whatever. It's a crazy.
I don't know. You know, I want to say yes, just knowing his track record.
Yeah.
But
It's
you're
possible.
right. This thing built the world up into a goddamn frothing frenzy.
Well, to the point where you had to see it. There was it was like, I hated all 20 movies, but I will be there on the first day for this one.
He just said, I bet the raccoon didn't have to climb a mountain.
Yeah, but he did say that James Cameron said that it gives him hope that like movies can still make that kind of money because he didn't believe that any movie would ever make it again because of that. The film.
And here he is, the big shocker. And sorry, keep going.
No, that's fine. Well, it's not a huge shocker now because he was in the last one. Remember, he introduced himself to Thanos when he had to kill Gamora.
He did?
Remember, that's why we had to come here, is because Thanos killed Gamora to get the Soul Stone in Infinity War.
Right.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying it's not a surprise now that you see him because we know where they are.
And it was Red Skull then?
Yes.
Oh, right. You're right.
Yeah. Yes. So
what a shocker. It's still him.
Yeah.
He didn't he's like, fuck this, I quit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go work at the 7-Eleven, get somebody else for this fucking job.
Exactly. Well, the guy who plays him now, Ross, I can't remember his name. He's in Walking Dead. It's not, what's his face anymore? It's not Smith anymore. Hugo Weaving.
It was just a CG guy.
It's just, the guy who's doing the voice now is just essentially
That was
doing
Hugo
his
Weaving.
impression.
I'd have been like, fuck off too. Like, what am I going to show there?
He just was basically like, he didn't want to go through the process of all the makeup and shit again. It wasn't worth his time.
And obviously they didn't need to because, like, there he is.
Mm-hmm. So some more interesting little tidbits. So this movie on its Thursday night debut made $60 million one night.
I remember that. I remember.
Yeah, it beat Force Awakens, which was the previous record at $57 million. But here's a little stat I'd never even thought of, but was obviously true when I heard it. This is the first movie in 45 years that was the highest grossing movie ever that was not directed by Steven Spielberg, James Cameron, or George Lucas.
Say that again?
It's the first movie in 45 years that was the highest grossing of all time that was not directed by Steven Spielberg, James Cameron, or George Lucas.
Wow. That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good quote or stat or whatever. That's a good one.
That's
sometimes
a crazy
they're all good, but sometimes you rock one like, ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And also, this is the first movie to ever reach $1 billion in its first weekend.
Dear Lord. Well, there's more people and everything, but
But
they did a great job. They did a great fucking job.
But I was going to write down, I didn't have time. I was going to write down all of the records that it beat because it also beat pre-sale records, it beat opening day records, it beat Saturday records, it beat Sunday records, opening weekend records, it beat second weekend records, it beat fastest to 2 billion, which was like 11 days. Like it was just so many goddamn things. See, these guys, again, closing the loop. We know these guys' relationship from the first Avengers and how it's like, I've got red on my ledger, all that kind of stuff. This is them closing the loop on their relationship. And it's it's an unfortunate way to do it. I
find that this moment is built in another moment.
Yeah.
Like we saw this happen already.
Yes.
And this is what kind of gives you the dread and the whatever, but I don't know, man.
It's the only twist being obviously that they're trying to each sacrifice each other rather than Thanos's.
Because they're like, this is my job. Both of them are like, this is my job, and this whole thing is to sacrifice myself for this stone. Well, and you know what I like too is that they are not in love with each other. Yeah. They are in love with each other as friends.
Yes.
They do not love each other as lovers.
They're family. They're family.
Right.
They're just,
I dig that.
Yeah,
that I dig.
I dig that too. But I like it too because she doesn't want to leave him. Like she doesn't want to live in a world where like he killed her and then her family comes back. His family comes back. He doesn't want his family to come back to him like the way he was.
Right.
Like, he's like I've done some fucking crazy things. I like
They're fighting over who kills themselves.
Yeah. It's if two people were
sacrifices themselves for the team, right?
If two people were gonna do it, it would be these two. Jump. It would have been great if she just grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and pulled him back. I was like, oh my God, she's strong. Oh. It's so much. But here's another thing too, and again, like just a little bit of semantics, I guess, is you're supposed to sacrifice the one that you love. Is this really sacrificing the one that you love?
Exactly. Right? That is what I thought. I forgot that point.
Yeah.
But yes, they do love each other.
Yes.
Well, so in this moment, Black Widow has done the proper thing because now he is sacrificing her. Well, no, because essentially you would have to push them, or
that's my thinking is you'd have to basically give up.
You can't throw yourself in. You can't volunteer.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to.
But on top of that, he's trying to not drop her. He doesn't want to let her go.
Maybe in this situation, it still counts as a sacrifice because they're so conflicted. Each one of them wants to be the one that goes. Yeah. And for me to let you go is a sacrifice because I want to be the one. I don't want to be left behind mourning you.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah.
Well, I was going to say maybe even that still counts as a sacrifice for love because she sacrificed herself for her love for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yeah. Well, in this case, that's how it went down. I do like the effect of this. This looks like a legend, like something that would be awesome in the Legend of Zelda,
or Lord of the Rings,
or
both.
That's already passed.
I can't.
Legend of Zelda games are coming.
Oh man. I can't wait for the next one.
This looks like just a nice place to take like a soak. Apparently, we did talk about it during Infinity War. That was originally supposed to be like human blood.
A nice place to take a soak.
But it looks like you know
this
those.
This is where you go when you're in one of those isolation chamber things.
That's what I was gonna say. It looks like one of those. Yeah.
Where the fuck's this guy?
What the? And then imagine.
Ooh, look at that moon eclipse thing going on over there.
And then imagine Thanos is there as a yoink. That's one thing I would really love to see. Like, again, if you could say transport yourself, not through time, but just through space, I would love to transport myself to a planet where you could see like other planets like in close orbit to you and like that kind of stuff. Like there was,
that's good acting actually too, right there.
Yeah. Again, it's all because like what they gave him in 2 was nowhere near enough for what they took from him in 1. But like they gave him a family and stuff like that in 2, which was okay. It was all well and good, but it's like it just didn't make up enough for the fact that he was a zombie in the first one.
Fuck, now they're all back, eh?
Yeah. And look at her. I like that War Machine had a suit over his War Machine suit. Like he wasn't just like. Yeah.
She's dead, brother. She's fucking dead.
You had a. Yeah, I think we all realized right away. I like that they gave him hair in this version. He's got some chest hair.
Him and her were in love for real.
I know
they just never really had to consummate there.
I know. And this is one real complaint. I know they don't really have time for like I justify her funeral. Like this is her funeral for like I don't know how much time has passed between now and then because obviously they didn't just throw on suits and go outside and mourn. Like obviously to some amount of time has passed because they also have to build the nano thing.
Right.
Like it could be months and they're just still sitting there going fuck I can't believe it. But they haven't indicated.
I don't think it's months. I don't think it's months because of the way Thor looks.
Yeah.
I think it's right after.
Yeah. But it's like I just don't know how close. You know what I mean? But
Thor can't fly in there and fucking grab her. Come on.
Yeah.
Nah, she's done. Yeah, so they're in some crazy
and
realm.
And then you find out, and he reaches his pocket. He's like, "Oh, should have had that one the whole time from this timeline." He's like, "Man, you didn't have to go back after all. That's a waste." And he puts it back in his pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing too to have everybody arguing over something that they clearly don't understand. I like his hair. Should I grow my hair like that, even though I can't grow hair on the top of my head?
Growing on the bottom.
From the sides, scooping
fuck
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, it's so nice just to like, it's something that you at least get from this scene is the obvious thing that they all actually care about each other.
Oh, see, now he's pissed. Jesus Christ, where's that bench gonna land, bud? Like what?
The end of the movie, that'd be the best. Thor's just about to kill the Hulk, and then a bench hits him in the side of the face.
Like what this shit?
See, this is one thing where I'm saying I would like them to have maybe established a bit of a timeline, because there's no way that this has been sitting here ready for like the moment they arrived, right? They had to have they had to figure them out based on having the stones. By the way, buy our Infinity Stone T-shirt on TikTok, guys.
Yeah, fucking buy them all.
Yeah.
The I wonder, you know, I was just gonna say like could, you know, like back in the day, were they not savvy enough or whatever to like pull this storyline up? I was just gonna say how with Stanley Kirby and what's his name were way ahead of their time, and blah blah blah. But were they technically ahead of their time if somebody was savvy enough to really pull off this back then?
It's a good question.
You know what I mean? If somebody in the 60s or 70s could have pulled off a really killer, like, Avengers movie, like, would, you know?
The problem is, though, they couldn't. Because you've seen what they did with superheroes.
Well, like, Superman, I thought, was great. I thought what they did with Superman was terrific. Man, they're throwing buses at each other and everything.
But like, that was, I think that Superman has such a simplicity to it. Like, it took till, like, 1990 to get Tim Burton's Batman. And
best Batman of them all.
I know, but I'm saying like it took a long time. Like think about when Batman was introduced into the comics to how long it took him to become.
No, but that version of Batman was not written till way later until what's his name wrote the darker version. What was his name?
Oh, Frank Miller?
Yes.
Okay.
Frank Miller wrote Batman darker, and then, you know.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But it's it's one of those things, and like DC was a weird one in general. But you saw like all their attempts at making like Captain America and all these other things, and like
we should see if we can find the It's Clobber. If we can find the Captain America from Corman.
I know the Captain America one is. I think I could find that. I don't think I can find the Fantastic Four. I can find the documentary about it.
Right.
That's a weird USB key.
That's the future of the USB.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you have to think about this very specifically. It's almost like he's trying to help him avoid a boner.
Oh, he's got the new. Oh, yeah, come on, Ant-Man, baby.
Yeah, everybody's like, I don't know what's about to happen next. I loved that scene though. We were talking over it, but I love that scene with Oh, got you covered, guy with no armor.
Yep,
the only guy with no armor.
That's badass.
Yeah. But the Thor saying like I need to be the one to do this, I need to be the one to do this, and all that, and they're going, no, you're in no mental place to be able to actually get this done.
When is Avengers? I know it's going to be later.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Avengers Campus supposed to start on thing?
Yeah, actually, it's I think it's next month. Have you seen the anime, or not the animation, but the swinging Spider-Man that they built?
No.
I'll show you video of this later. It's a legit robot that's going to be swinging through the place, and he swings and does like double backflips, and then keeps
like what? Like all of a sudden you're standing there, and boom, Spider-Man swings by.
Well, not in a place where he could accidentally hit you. He's up in the air.
Right.
But we saw it because we had heard that Disney was developing like robots to do stunts for people. It's like really dangerous stunts for like a Spider-Man movie or something like
Westworld
that.
And shit, man.
A little
Holy
bit
fuck.
like you would build it and just program it to do the one move, right? And then that was its purpose. So at the same time now we've got, so that now the time travel thing's happening for Thanos. And this is a point they were making too. So this is something that'll be interesting about a Hulk is because they say that it's
permanently
his damage
damaged
is
him.
permanent. Like his arm will be fucked forever and it will be weaker forever. It's like skinnier. Like in the end, you'll see it's skinnier than the other arm and it's all that other stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Like, does he?
So he thinks it?
Yeah.
He has to think about what he wants and snaps.
Well, it's a will thing, right? It's like
Right.
what Thanos wanted is to get rid of 50% of the people. It's kind of funny how this moment really got me because like you see like Ant-Man's looking out at the thing and seeing the birds. I'm like, yeah, I could see 4 birds in a world where half the birds are gone. But like the phone ring just like instantly like I clutched my heart because I was like, oh my God.
Now it's back, right?
Yeah, that's the proof.
Oh,
So good. So good. And you only get 5 seconds to like enjoy this. And it's just like, hey, oh no. Oh my God.
Look at his
just
face
the
too,
cry-
eh?
just,
Oh.
like the emotional place you have to put yourself in for these scenes that last like a second, right?
Oh shit!
Boom.
There's Thanos.
Yeah. I like that he wastes no time. It's just pow, 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 pow.
Here's where it kicks in now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it basically doesn't stop from this point out. And that's another reason why I forgave that too, because it's like usually you'll have like a fight scene, then a bunch of nothing, then a fight scene, then a bunch of nothing. This is just we're gonna put a fight scene and just make the
now
whole
that I've
thing.
been watching this movie with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
When I watched this movie the first time, this is the second.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Hulk's moment. Look
Yeah.
at him now, what they're good doing in the camera. This is Hulk's moment to pick the whole fucking thing up and just get pissed as fuck.
Yeah, which is based on him picking up a mountain.
The mountain in Secret Wars.
There's a Secret Wars? Okay. Yeah.
That's a great story. That's one I hope, they're going to be telling Marvel stories forever.
I know.
They need to get to the Beyonder and the Secret Wars, but they cannot do that.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think for whatever, but in my opinion, you can't do it unless you have Doom, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men, because they're all pulled in.
Yeah. Maybe that is their next. Maybe that is their Infinity.
Because
Saga that they're planning.
Doom is such a big part of the Infinity Saga. I'm sure they could
We're
switch it
talking
with
Dr.
somebody
Doom,
else.
right?
Dr. Doom, yes. Yeah.
Well, I don't think they
Is
would
such
if
a
they're bringing the
big-
Fantastic Four in.
Yeah, but I mean, they change things
Yeah,
and things, but he's a very big part of the.
Do you know much about the Illuminati? Like not the controls everything Illuminati, but the comic Illuminati?
No.
Okay, a friend of mine told me about it. It's basically a group of the smartest guys. It was Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Mr. Fantastic, and a couple other people.
I do.
And yeah, I was like, that would have been an interesting movie to have. Now, obviously, we're in a position at the end of this where that doesn't really work. But
And there's a bunch of different teams that happen too. Yeah. I think within the Illuminati, where one of them is the Hulk, a Ghost Rider.
God, I would like to see Ghost Rider enter all.
There's 2 other ones. I can't remember 2, but yes. It's like Hulk, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider. Here we go. Here's a nice scene for Clint.
My 2 big disappointments in this, again, they weren't things I was expecting, but just things I was kind of hoping would happen. I wanted to see the Defenders snuck into this movie.
I love.
Like, I wanted to see
Daredevil.
Yeah, but it would have been cool. Like, I wanted to see this fight maybe spread out over more spots, and you go to New York and you see fucking Punisher and Daredevil, and
they're all fighting. The
all of
Defenders are
Iron
fighting
Fist
in the
all that.
thing, and
then, but then I don't know where it would happen. I don't know who it would have connected to, only because the timeline of these things would have worked, just with the actors and whatnot. Is somebody was about to die, like just say like Ebony Maw was about to kill somebody, and you just saw 3 claws come through him, and he drops down, and it's fucking Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. His final Wolverine spot is this one spot, because he said the only other way he'd want to play Wolverine would be in an Avengers movie if they could ever get that. And it all just tied up at the same time. They were in the midst of buying Fox, and Hugh Jackman was right at his end, and like all that. I was like, they could have made it work.
Even if it could work in the sense of You're a hero.
Yeah.
We don't know you yet, but we know you.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
and,
shit.
And now this is the introduction to the mutants.
Yeah. That would actually be a really fun time to use Ant-Man.
Right.
Because like anybody else might not even react that hard to it, but like Ant-Man would be, what the hell?
Exactly, right? Ant-Man is essentially like us.
Yeah.
They make him like the us, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly
Look at
like
that makeup. Is that makeup or is that...
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's makeup for sure. It's not even prosthetics.
I know
there's
this
prosthetics
chick,
on the other side.
I don't know her very well, but I
Gillan.
worked with her in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I have her on Facebook, and she does makeup for movies and shit. And I see her doing makeup on actors and things, and she's like, "Oh, I'm on the set for this, and this is the guy I'm doing," and she's good, man.
Yeah. I would love to get some like a real makeup job done for some like cosplay thing or whatever. Now here's my favorite Thor moment is seconds away from happening, and I just absolutely love it. Like, it's so good.
There they are.
Yeah. That's a good. This is actually a scene in a movie that
the three of them.
Yeah, a movie that I've kind of like contemplated and like broken down. It was basically about people who were taking they were taking all these like not vaccines but like antidotes and stuff to like biological warfare, and they'd been living underground forever, so they had like their kids and they had like these built-in like immunities and like and so essentially superpowers and stuff. But this is the scene. Look at this with Thor gets the zap, the awesome,
He's got both of them,
the awesome braid. And yeah, and he's got the two things. But anyways, I had like the one guy who was basically, he was like bred of these people. So he had all the strengths and all the whatever. He was going to be the impossible one to kill. And I had him just sitting like on like the steps of like a Capitol building or something like that was in ruins because they'd been living underground for so long and stuff like that. And that was, except it wasn't Thanos. And so that beats mine already. I like his double sword too. It's like, it looks like a vibro blade from, Knights of the Old Republic. Oh,
Thanos is a smart guy.
yeah. Oh, so now he knows I gotta wipe off Earth. Oh, it's a lot of.
He's not wrong. Like,
Yeah.
well, there is too many people.
Yeah. Oh, and that was the thing. Like what he said in the first one about getting rid of half the people, I've legitimately said that.
Yeah.
I don't want half of the world to die. That's not the thing.
Even though if half the world did die, it would make the world a much nicer place.
Yeah. But
as Mother Nature would really be
Yeah.
liking that.
Yes. Bless you, Gaia. But that's the second time. Actually, the third time I said that today. I said that independent of you. I said that another time. I said that like while I was eating dinner today. She's just in my thoughts, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was my thing. Like I was like, it was mine was just a theory of like the world would be like a much easier place if there was like 4 billion people, not like
this entire scene. Needed the Hulk to fight Thanos at least a little bit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Everybody was disappointed when he just rocked him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then Hulk starts, you know what I mean? Professor Hulk is like, okay, so this scene should have been the three of them are fighting Thanos. He whoops them.
Yeah.
Professor Hulk is like watching. He's not trapped underneath. Professor Hulk is watching and he's like, oh my God. And then suddenly the Hulk comes up from within him. And then he's like, fuck you.
Well, and this is where Red Hulk was supposed to, like, basically they were going to ignore General Ross. Like I said, we're going to ignore General Ross as a separate Hulk. It was going to be, this is the difference between Smart Hulk and when he really hulks out. He now turns into a different color, so you can now tell the difference kind of thing, right? And he would be much bigger.
And maybe the Hulk doesn't win and beat him.
Yeah.
But he does way better. And it holds him down while somebody else can, something.
Yeah.
There's no... But like I said before, like this is a different time. Things have happened.
Well, and it's a really different tapestry too, because you also have a moment where Captain Marvel gets her hand at him, or Scarlet Witch gets her hand at him. Like how many times can Thanos almost get beat in this fucking thing, right? Like it's so I understand that, but and also it would have been a lot of rewriting themselves out of the corner that they have him in right now,
Right?
Because he's injured and he's like, it would have been cool if he could have done something to help, like if Hulk could have done something to help against Thanos at the time, but
he did. He did the clacky.
Yeah, but he's doing his own
there's
thing.
two. Listen to yourself, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
It is. I agree.
It's just like
it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
You just killed yourself.
No, but this must be and this is a weird thing for Nebula because it's like, well, I've still got one, and it seems to be the one that's more reasonable.
It's the older.
Yeah.
In the comics, I don't know them, but what I heard was that Nebula gets the
Yes, my understanding is that's
the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah.
They all use their team power. Look, this is awesome too. Boom.
Oh,
use them as I actually don't remember that shot. That's awesome. I don't like who they got. Like they just got like this random Irish girl to be the voice.
That?
It's just like it's the new one.
Supposed to be?
It's Friday, the replacement for Jarvis. Because,
okay, right.
And the other thing is I was missing Vision. But I know like Vision isn't something you just bring back because he wasn't like snapped or anything like that, right?
Poor Vision.
Yeah. Boom. Like it's so like to see him like stomp out these guys.
The thing too that gets me is a lot of the characters, like, well, I said it before too, or where he'll be back. We'll see him.
Yeah.
Like I thought a lot of the characters weren't represented properly. We didn't see enough of them, but we'll see them. They're still there.
This.
Oh fuck! Look at this.
This destroyed my audience when this exact moment happened. So it was boom. Like literally people were standing up and going like, yeah.
You know why? Because when it came down to it, Mjolnir, he's got Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
The gods, whatever determines it, was like, he is so worthy. Give him Mjolnir.
Yeah. That was well. The argument is that, and the theory is that he was able to pick up Mjolnir in Avengers 2 when he tried because he moves it a little.
He nudged it,
and he does whatever.
Look at him go!
But there's a thing where they're saying like I love like the things that they decide. I don't like that he does the thunder, to be honest. Because he's not the god of thunder.
If you get Mjolnir, you get the yep.
Oh, see, I didn't know that it was a conduit to thunder so much as Thor could use it as a conduit because he is the god of thunder.
I did not know that either. That's a good question, but I believe that if he's got it, they're just like, give him the powers.
Oh, I think this is badass, so I'll let it slide.
Give him.
You notice even there, he doesn't grab Mjolnir there, he grabs his wrist because he's not worthy of Mjolnir.
I did not notice that,
yeah,
actually.
He grabbed him by the wrist.
Holy shit, look at the shield. Holy fuck.
Yeah, what the hell is that made of if it's breaking the shield up, right?
Oh, Captain America, you did great.
That was a great bit. Now we get into this is, again, like where my mega goosebumps come is this moment that we're about to get. And I'm probably going to take the audio off on this. I don't really know how much of this is legal, but not enough of you fucking listen for this to be a real problem.
Exactly. Come on.
Oh, I'm going to throw out a little apology, too. You know how we talked about our friend Dakota Johnson? I misread. It's Dakota Jackson. And it is a male. Who he confirmed it is a man. So
That is so great.
So we talked a lot about the sexy girl Dakota Johnson, and it ended up being
I meant
a man.
sexy man.
Yes, he is. Dakota Jackson is a sexy man.
You sexy fuck.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's my apology for this. And now we bring back the Dark Order and like.
That's so funny. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, you know how these things go. I believe because when I first read the name, it was like middle of the night, and it was one of those I just kind of saw it and I just kind of heard it in my thing. This is here we go. I'm putting it. I'm getting the audio. I got to take it back out because I don't want to play too much of the audio without getting the part that I actually want to hear.
Like they're even gonna fucking.
I know, but it's my job to keep this legal because you're not going to do it.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely fucking true.
You're doing heroin right now.
Be arrested.
Yes.
Like second episode. See, and here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is, in my opinion, the last time they can do this.
Yes.
We have seen this a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe the fact that they made it 2 hours before this shit happened, you know what I mean? Like, is there the reason? Like, we've seen this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, here it is. This is, and the second this, again, you got the audible gaffs. I like the movie going crowd is so important to the experience of these movies. On your left.
On your left. Boom!
Ooh, love it. And then this opens up. And then when all of this starts happening and happening and happening.
Oh, shit.
See, once
there
again,
it is.
count fifth time this has happened to me.
There he is.
Oh, I love this.
I love you, Black Panther.
Black Panther is so good. I'm so looking forward to his next movie
too.
and whatever it's going to be because he did such a good job with
There
it.
they are.
Now it's just like, it's amazing how organized they got. I guess Doctor Strange got them all organized though.
Yes,
Going, okay, this is
of
what's
course.
happened. This
Yeah,
is
I
what-
wonder if we're gonna have to find out later what they did in this time.
Yeah.
Was time suspended?
And-
he's the fucking one of the MVPs.
Yeah. He's the MVP
you know
of
what
the
I mean?
whole
Like,
story. of it.
holy shit! Like,
Yeah. Like, I feel bad for these guys. I wonder how they felt about, because they knew this going into Infinity War, right?
they're
That's
not
like,
the
you're
Avengers.
you're 100% right.
they're
That
not
is
the fucking Avengers. They're the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's Spider-Man.
This is what Black Panther does to me, though. This E-bomb bait, like, I'm amped. Like, they did the same
Hey,
thing
there's
in
like
Infinity War,
I thought it's
too.
that white dude in there.
Yeah, but look, you can see friggin',
Yeah.
there were, you could see that there were ships coming in. It was like the Nova Corps ships were pouring in. Did you notice that?
The real thing
Yeah.
is the fucking Pegasus that just came through. That's like a mystical being that they saved.
I know.
So
no
there's,
doubt.
there's more so than just saving our heroes.
That was good. I
There
taught my
she
daughter how to
is.
do the superhero land today. She was doing it all day. But yeah, if you noticed, there were a bunch of spaceships that came in for them, and one of them was and there were like Nova ships and stuff there.
And he's got the Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So fucking good. Now, here's my thing. This was a legitimate thought that I had. I thought that this was the end of the movie and there wasn't going to be a fight scene.
I agree.
This,
I agree with you. I was like, is this the end of the movie?
Right when
I was
he
like,
said-
were they lying and there's going to be another one?
that was kind of where I was at. And so he does the assemble, and then like the way the music builds and all that, I thought it was going to go to black. And I was like, if that happens, I need to get the fuck out of here fast, because this, like, the people are going to blow this building up. And so an interesting thing, like, because I mentioned the spaceships and stuff, Kraglin, played by Sean Gunn, who now has Yondu's thing from Guardians 2, he is in one of the ships, and he shot scenes. He's got the arrow and all that, and so like he shot some scenes where he's flying around. But they talked about it, and they said like to go from the ground war up to the space war, they were like, it's not worth it. I love seeing Giant Man go too. There was a theory that was called the Thanos theory, where they said Ant-Man should have shrunk down small, crawled inside of Thanos' asshole, and then went big. And he's like, this was a cool moment too. I didn't even like balk at Pepper Potts as like having that. I love this. You have the little one.
Switch.
That was a great moment too. This must have been
Bucky.
crazy, because like how little of this were you shooting next to anybody, right? Like it's just each actor by themselves
his
surrounded
buddy.
by green screen.
Spider-Man.
And then Ant-Man squish. Oh, this is a wonderful emotional moment here. And I go, Dusty. Dr. Strange. I love the explaining. He's
So they were
good.
in stasis or something, because he just said, it's been 5 years. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, literally. Like to him, it was a moment.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's so good. And I really, really would have liked even some more.
Shit.
Yeah. Like I could have given some more time with those two developing their relationship, but it's kind of interesting the way they go with Far From Home because of his relationship having ended with Stark and
This
stuff like
is
that.
so
It changes
wonderful.
a lot. Yeah, this is a great
Look
moment.
at this.
Those are the moments that I want to play more than anything. I don't want to have some giant thing. I want to have that, like, just to have that look that you buy into immediately, right?
This movie is much more, you know what? This movie is about connecting.
Yeah.
Oh. It's the wrong timeline one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because the other one's dead.
You missed the first time.
But you got to vote the second time. So we were talking about the rankings. So Endgame is the second highest ranked on IMDb with an 8.4 out of 10. Infinity War is still ranked number 1 with 8.5. And then Avengers 1 is number 3 with 8.1. Yeah. I love how Falcon uses his shit too. It's just so busy. Yeah. There's
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hold it. I love this bit.
Of course, right.
That's wonderful. It almost makes me wish that Michael Pena was in this scene.
A van, some old van, eh?
Yeah. Well, that's the one that he was in the storage unit.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just funny that there's in this planet way the fuck out.
Yeah.
This time fight, you know, and there she is.
Yeah. You saw too, she called Captain America Cap there after making fun of him in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I love this too. If I tell you what, I cannot wait for him to be in for the next Doctor Strange. He's so good as Doctor Strange.
I agree. He's perfect. They've done a really good job. I don't know who I could see that they've cast that I would think somebody would be better for the job. I would say that for the X-Men movies, because I like Hugh Jackman. I think he did a great job with Wolverine. Yeah. Do I think he was perfect for the role? No. But what he had was great.
I think the one thing that you point out, the one thing that like is hard to do for filmmaking, because you say you want him like a lot shorter and stuff like that. Short doesn't work for film composition. Like everybody's got to be around the same height. Yeah. Unless you're doing like a giant kind of thing and you're like,
well, what about like Lord of the Rings? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Here's the relay race.
I that is a very fair argument. Actually, there was a scene that they had originally written where they had they made Hulk. I think it was when it was Red Hulk. They made Hulk hit him. So he turned completely purple and then used his powers. Oh, I went nuts when I saw this.
Oh, shit.
She is all into her power.
She almost kills him.
Yeah.
Nobody gets closer to defeating him than she does.
Yeah. Yeah, to actually killing him.
That's right. Because, no, but I'm talking, not talking like Thor chopping his head off while he's half defeated. Yeah. Look at this shit.
Yeah, this is him at his best. And the other thing too, like, because nobody else actually does kill him. He doesn't die in this movie. He gets willed out of existence like everybody else.
That's right.
He can be brought back if they want to. Like if they wanted to make him a part of Secret Wars, they could, right?
Everybody loves Spider-Man. Come on. I am currently playing Spider-Man on the PS4, and it is a terrific game.
I would like to play that game, actually. But yeah, like it's...
Boom.
Yeah. There's no... it's so good to get to see her use her powers because she feels so marginalized in the part 2.
Like
right?
He's like she's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm about to die. Just blow the fucking place up.
Yeah, it's all for nothing.
She's about to kill him.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. If she had 20 more seconds, they're all he's dead, and that's the end of it. What was the other thing? No, that's what he was going to do. Wong.
I was going to come Wang.
Yes, that's just as good.
It's close.
No, that's what was going to happen. So one of those Goliath things flying, he was going to have Hulk or Thor hit Black Panther, so his whole suit went purple, and then he was going to hit the thing, and it was going to
use because it takes the energy and then I like that, actually. That's a really good idea.
That would have been a cool one to see. I think it was just a matter of
there's a lot happening.
Yeah, and it was probably another thing you had to pay so much money to deal with, right? I like the idea of throwing the hammer too for that, and I'm so this 100% because I have a daughter. This is the woman lip service moment that's about to happen here. I so dig because I have something I could show my daughter. And look at this.
I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not opposed to it, but they did it in the first one and they just did it more.
I find it just to be a cheesy moment.
Yes.
I feel like why would they all come out and stand together at the same time?
Yeah.
When they could have.
Yeah. Yeah.
been doing different things all over, helping people disperse. She's Valkyrie's over here fighting her, Pepper Potts over here, this and that. But then they have to have this whole like we're all standing together as women. I was like, come on, like.
I think it's just because it's so obvious.
But the men get it all the time, so why shouldn't they get one?
No, you're 100% right. I agree. I agree with that.
Like,
this is wonderful. Like this again, a testament to her power. Where
the fuck has she been?
She just found out that they were here. Like again, like she had to fly from wherever she was.
I forgot about her. I totally forgot about her.
But this is what I love about this. Like again, it's a testament to her power. They were raining down on the entire Avengers. Like every superhero that's been in the entire MCU, they were firing down on. They're like, forget about them. We have to deal with this problem.
Wow.
So like good for her. But once again, they had not shot a single frame of Captain Marvel, which is why she's not in this movie, because they didn't want to fuck it up on her.
He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She's powerful.
She's so good. And I'm looking forward to her next movie.
They needed her here because Thor is not mentally thinking correctly.
Yeah. She's so good too. And actually, she also counts as another member of the cast of Community in a Russo movie. Because she was in like 4 episodes of Community.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Love
she was
Pegasus.
Abed's girlfriend.
Love it.
I know. The Pegasus is pretty cool. I'm so happy that this does exist, though, only because my daughter.
You know what? Here you go. Wait a minute. This scene makes much more sense now.
Okay.
They all kind of just landed together.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know, I forgot for some reason that they all...
Yeah.
No, I dig it, actually.
Yeah. It's, I guess it makes more sense. It just felt weird to me that because it's like, why would they be like just so grouped together that they would all land in the same place?
Right?
I guess it just happened, yeah. And I'm fine with it. And like I said, like for me to be able to, like when I, no word of a lie and corny on my part, is I have my daughter beside me when this scene's happening and I have her holding tight to me and it's just the best.
I just thought that for some reason that they just all came out together when they all came out.
Oh, no.
I don't know why and that wasn't even that big of a thing.
Yeah.
They just were standing together and they all moved out and that was it, like...
I tell you something too, though, about like their plan. So they were going to get the stones back. Like he was going to get in there and then return all the stones to where they were supposed to go. But then what was the idea? Like this war still had to be fought minus one of the Avengers.
What a movie.
Yeah.
Like I just am amazed.
I'm actually
at what
ranking
the Russo brothers have done with the cast. The fact that they couldn't be together all the time.
Yeah.
The whole thing is amazing.
I'm actually putting this in that scenario where this could be my top one in the right scenario, like in the right mood. Like if I'm looking for the more action and more craziness, I go Infinity War. But like this one is
I'm gonna rewrite this.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I've liked it a lot more.
Yeah. That's cool.
I think that the talking of it, there's a lot of things that happened.
Yeah.
Holy he's got the whole proper glove too.
Yeah.
Look at her.
That's like, and you can see he's legit scared.
He's like, whoa.
Yeah. And he's winning a mercy fight. This was cool.
Great idea.
That was
smart guy.
Yeah, that was
what stone was that?
That was the Power Stone. That's the one that was in Guardians of the Galaxy in Ronan's hammer. Not Ronan.
You know what's crazy too?
Yeah.
I don't know whether they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
But the two people, here is the one.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it, buddy.
He's like, I know what you're thinking, and that's what we're at.
This is the one right here. This is it. The two people that came closest hand-to-hand combat to beating Thanos were two chicks.
Yep. 100% right.
Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel.
And true to the powers like in the comics and stuff like that. Not just like lip service.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Clink.
Ah,
Wait a minute. That would have been the best.
That's an Iron Man glove.
So basically what he did is he used his nanite things to steal it off of him. So it's not like he grabbed them and picked them. The nanites grabbed them and then moved them around and now placed him. This actually was the last shot of the movie. It was a reshoot thing. This originally, he doesn't say anything here. but he almost didn't want to do this. He got convinced. Joel Silver, of all people, who has nothing to do with this movie, convinced him to do this. He's like, it's your iconic line from the first movie. You have to say it. And because he didn't want to say it because they didn't want to.
Why Joel Silver?
Because he was just happened to be at a lunch or something like that when they were having this discussion.
He's like, hey, what are you doing? And are you going to do this? I don't want. He's like, you have to say it.
So it was. He's like,
I don't want to say I'm Iron Man. He's like, no, you have to say it. What the fuck? Like,
his reasoning was because to go back and reshoot, like, because he knows that he knows that he's making the decision to die, and so he would like, he's like, I don't know if I'm getting back in that mental headspace to go do that and say I am Iron Man. And that was his concern. But
that fight scene was not big enough. Not nearly.
Yeah. They even say, the Russos say too, they're like, it feels like a long scene. And he's like, when you actually count it out, it's not that long.
Nope. That was not big enough for a movie that was 2 hours before any real fucking, it was adventure that happened.
Yes. Yeah.
That was not big enough.
Yeah.
There was not enough moments.
Yeah.
A lot of people deserved moments. They didn't get them, but this is a scheduling conflict thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
we missed one moment that I can't, God, I can't even pinpoint it now. I saw it in my research, but you see Mantis putting one of the Goliaths, one of those big flying Goliaths, to sleep. She's like on top of it and she's got her hands on it. So it's actually happening in the background. It's like, it's the best I can do, I guess. So it's like nobody's as invested in Mantis as they are maybe other people.
But we all are. Yes, we are, because we would like to see, there was like, we needed more.
Yeah.
I needed more in that scene.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, it's like, at the very least, they've accomplished the beats they needed to accomplish.
Right, exactly. Yes, they did.
He looks messed here, which I guess that was the point, right?
I feel like the Wakanda fight was like bigger than this.
The Wakanda fight was...
I feel like most of the action that happened in the other ones, like this fight for New York, was way bigger.
I think that maybe the difference in that one is because it was actually 3 fights going on at the same time.
Right.
Because it was cutting back and forth to Titan.
Right.
But yeah, it's like the same thing in Star Wars Episode 3. They have that lightsaber fight, which is actually one of the longest one-on-one fights ever in a movie. But it's also
which one?
In Part 3, Obi-Wan versus Anakin when he's Darth Vader, like fresh Darth Vader.
Which movie?
It's Episode 3.
No, name it.
Oh, sorry. Revenge of the Sith.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah. Friday. Yeah, don't worry about me right now.
You did it again, Iron Man. Good for you. You fucking loser.
Yeah.
Now he won, but he lost because he died.
Yeah.
But he still won.
He's ashy.
So he's got to be him.
Yeah. It was... No, but if you asked... I think if you asked most viewers, I would say 90% of the viewers are like, of course it has to be him. Just from a pure logic, not from my favorite character standpoint, from a pure logic standpoint, it has to be him, because that's how in your brain you have to organize these things, and bookending shit like this, as weird as it sounds on paper, is how your brain accepts it.
That is a very, very perfect way of putting it. Bookending your brain.
Yeah.
I like that, actually. That should be on something.
That's gonna be.
I really like that. Bookending your brain.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. It's disgusting, but it's true.
Yeah, because I mean, if you just had a poll of which one did you wish got to do this, it would be all over the place. But if you said which one should be the one to do this, it's gonna.
And we've seen it happen twice now.
Yeah.
Like, how come Hulk couldn't pull it off the first snap?
Yeah. Well,
what happened with that snap that made it not?
What do you mean? Oh, the
Hulk
first
snapped first, and then what didn't change that made?
Well, no. Here's what happened. So Hulk snapped first to bring everybody back. He didn't know about Thanos. Thanos wasn't there as far as he was concerned, right?
Right.
So he didn't. He couldn't snap for He couldn't say, "Oh yeah, by the way, also kill Thanos," because that wasn't going to that wasn't even in their purview. So he accomplished everything he was supposed to accomplish, and then they got fucked.
Is Hawkeye going to get his own movie now?
He's getting his TV show. It's on like a little bit of hold right now, but he's one of the Disney Plus listed Disney Plus shows.
Oh, that's right, the Hawkeye. Oh, that doesn't fucking count.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, it depends on the story they choose to tell. I'm trying to look. Apparently there's a girl in like Spider-Gwen colors walking around here. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? Oh, right there.
Yeah, the skirt. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think
Good
that
call.
they're. Yeah,
I don't know if that was intentional either.
Well, I
right?
think
People
it was.
see things.
I think it was intentional, but not a nod to like, oh yeah, by the way, Spider-Gwen's going to be in the next movie.
Of course, somebody was like, they don't let her pick her own skirt. You know.
What is now? Okay,
Is that Whoopi from TNG? Who's that woman?
It's Angela Bassett.
It's Angela.
This is This is the end of like Return of the Jedi right here, right? Like all the world's celebrating. But I get it though. This is like the end of a video
You
game
have to have
too.
one of these. Come on. Oh.
Now I'm gonna put you in a position. You were snapped. 5 years has passed. You're snapped back.
What?
You were snapped out.
Okay.
You're gone. You're not an Avenger. You're nothing like that. You just live. You're you. And then you get snapped back, and now you're back in this world that like there's garbage everywhere because first everybody was too depressed to pick up the garbage and all that. Like, how do you like react to the world that you live in now? You're like, what the fuck happened here?
I probably would just be like, par for the course.
Yeah.
Here it is.
So,
I've been gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
I would have been like, I've been gone for 5 years and nobody picked up the garbage?
yeah. I got to do everything around.
Yeah, you fucking right. You got to do. You know? The prison encounters yourself.
This must be a crazy.
And the hologram of Robert Downey Jr.
The MVP of this scene is fucking Jon Favreau. He like him just taking care of the daughter in this bit is so.
I agree.
So good.
But this is the whole thing that begs like, where was Black Widow's? I heard a rumor that those two were together.
What do you mean?
Gwyneth Paltrow and Tony Stark. But I think it was just a thing. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, they were together, and I heard they were going to get married. But it must have just been a thing that was out there or whatever.
Oh, like the actual actors.
Yeah, like in real life. Yeah,
no, he's married, and she was married at the time. I like that that's there. That's from the original Iron Man. The proof that Tony has a heart. Everybody, all the actors, to avoid spoilers, the actors were told that they were going to a wedding scene.
Oh.
They were told as they arrived that this is the funeral of Tony Stark. So this is an interesting thing too, because again, a lot of people like weren't necessarily all here at the same time. So
there's Aunt May.
Yeah, Aunt May.
I don't agree with her being Aunt May, but whatever, she's hot.
I'm fine with it because I like her just as an actress.
I know, me too, but she's not old enough.
Yeah.
Like his arms all fucked.
Well, it's all
relative.
It's all relative.
He's not even nearly as big.
Yeah.
He's almost like.
But tell me this: when you were 14 years old, how many aunts did you have that were like 80 years old, like in fucking like the first Spider-Man?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you have like a 50-year-old aunt.
Oh, there's Groot.
Yeah.
Where's oh, sorry. I was like, where's Gamora?
Sad face.
I hope this is something that they are going to be doing in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is finding Gamora.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think they're gonna hunt down the Gamora that exists.
Right, exactly.
I gotta find I've got an interesting.
Oh, and there's Bucky, and the new Captain, and one of them's the new Captain America. Maybe her. Who's this kid? Why is this kid standing around
This guy's
alone?
very important. I wrote his name down. I can't remember. Oh, it's right here.
There's William Hurt. There's General Ross.
So that kid that you just saw, his name in the MCU is Harley Keener. He's the kid from Iron Man 3 who helps him. The actor's name is Ty Simpkins. They called him up and asked him if he wanted to be a part of this, and he's like, "Are you
watch
kidding
this
me?"
already?
Well, we've seen it. We talked about it together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the kid that he helped. The kid that helped him actually.
Yeah, yes.
With the
so it's
cool. That was neat.
And it's to, I guess, imply that they've had some level of relationship,
right?
Like beyond what we saw in the movie and stuff like that. This is a nice moment too, because these are like the only people who really lost somebody, and they know each other, and they've got a cool relationship because of 2. This is one of the better things that came out of 2 is kind of their mentor and kind of big brother kind of relationship and stuff like that.
I said I can't wait to see the new Avengers movie. When is this going to be? Like 10 years from now?
Oh, it's going to be a long time, man.
Like fuck, man.
I honestly think that it's like a few things are going to come out, and
here you go.
Oh, this is so good.
This is a great.
Jon
scene.
Favreau is a better actor than like he maybe gets credit for.
Well, he was in lots of shit.
He's
with
in
Vince Vaughn.
I know,
but
he gets like that kind of like he's just like, oh, this is who you are. You're just the fatter version of Vince Vaughn, essentially, right? Like, but like this is a Oh my God. Like just such, I legit cried. That was the moment I cried in this movie, was when he said that to her. He's got this moment. He's like, he's decided, he's like, my job was taking care of him. Now my job is taking care of her.
Yeah.
And just so good. And Point Break over here.
Point Break.
It's like no place to surf here, bro.
You hit the BK up.
Yeah. Well, this is an interesting thing too, because what does this open up for him? Is he going to be in the next Guardians movie? Is he going to be, or are the Guardians going to be in the next Thor movie?
Oh, sorry. What's the next one? It's Thor. The Guardians will be in Thor.
Yeah. Right. So it's like, it's interesting. Apparently there was a comic thing, because he calls them as Guardians of the Galaxy in a moment. There was a comic called As Guardians of the Galaxy, which includes a lot of Asgardians. Scourge was a part of it, and Valkyrie was a part of it, and it was like all of them kind of going on like a space adventure.
Ooh,
yeah.
He's handing the keys to the VIP.
It's weird too, because you forget, because just the way they've been dressed in these crazy costumes and stuff, that they are also the stars of Men in Black International.
I want to see that movie. I didn't see it.
I'd give it a shot. I think it got a lot of negative stuff, because that was right around the time when Liam Neeson said he'd go beat up a black guy, because like it was like that weirdness that he caused, and then everybody
what does that have to do with?
No, because he's in it, and he's like
Oh, that's right.
And then everybody was like, boycott the movie because he's an asshole and blah blah blah. So it kind of got like a weird the Asgardians. I love this scene with the two of them. I'm in charge. His face is so brilliant. It's good, yeah. This movie and I think Ragnarok really opened Chris Hemsworth up, like opened people's eyes to him up as like any possibility with him. You can have whatever you want out of this guy.
You should fight one another for the leadership of the trip. Sounds fair.
Mm-hmm. Actually, the I am Groot. That was the only I am. Right. Oh, right. Hold in right here. Where is it? That I am Groot is the only I am Groot in the entire movie, and that was Vin Diesel's entire role in the movie, and it's completely changed, so it didn't have to be Vin Diesel.
That's amazing.
And but the translation, what it appears in the script, because it's always what he wants to say, is in the script, and he just says I am Groot to that is I like knives. That was his. This is this face he makes right here, of course. Of course. So good. This
ooh, there they are.
Like, look at how just destroyed his arm. Like, he's just in a permanent cast now. I'm very curious to see if they do manage, because they still have to work with Universal to get Hulk. Like, I don't know when those rights kick out, right? So I don't know if they're just waiting out the rights so they don't have to deal with what they're dealing with Sony, or
okay, he has regenerative powers as well.
Yeah, I
would expect in the next movie that to be done.
Yeah.
If Wolverine used that,
yeah,
would he be permanently damaged?
That's the thing is
that how like, strong it is?
The way that the Russos put it is like somebody even like Thanos, which like things like that wouldn't even damage him, destroyed him permanently. So it's like, yeah, would it? But I think what they do is he does some experiments, or he goes full like Red Hulk or something like that, and that regenerates him. I really want to see. I'm so looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's the one I think I'm looking forward to the most.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what they decide to do with it. I have a feeling that a part of it will be his brainwashing bit is still not quite done, and then Falcon has to take him on.
Right.
A little bit.
They're going to fight for the leadership of who can be the new Captain America.
Yeah. Actually, there's a really interesting bit, because obviously we're about to find out who he gives the shield to. But that person, so being obviously Sam, he found out from Chris Evans. He was sitting there. He's like, so are you excited? They were literally just like, I don't know at what point. It was like in pre-production or whatever. He's like, are you excited? And he's like, for what? He's like, you don't know? He's like, what? And he literally got up and ran out of the room and grabbed the script and brought it. It's like, look, and he's like, oh my God, I'm Captain America. Like, And he's like, so it was a pretty
You're
cool
the
moment.
new Captain America, dude.
This is cool. But you know what? I think they made the right choice because originally I wanted it to be the Winter Soldier. I wanted him to have like that like that arm, the Captain America arm that they gave him and stuff. But then when I started to think about it in the story that they've told here, because his brain is compromised and it's like it's
better for Falcon.
Yeah, but it's the decision that Bucky would make. He's like, if it was up to me, who it would be? It wouldn't be me because I'm still not all
here. So Captain America's like, oh, I'm 90 years old. I better take the train down to that place where they sent me back.
Yeah. God, I hope I wrote down the right day.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he's sitting there, he's like, oh, thank God you're here. He's like, I've been here since yesterday. I was off.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. People I think on Reddit as well, they said that they believe that to hide his identity, he changed his name when he went back, and just based on his look, they said that he changed his name to Fred Rogers and he became Mr. Rogers in the new timeline.
Oh, I like that.
I like it too. He looks like fucking Joe Biden though, doesn't he?
Yes.
So if maybe he can just convince people, he's like, yeah, I'm old Captain America.
I like this.
I didn't
like
at the time.
Idea of him living his life with his love.
Yeah.
And like, whatever. Fucking A, man.
Yeah.
You've got fucked over for centuries, bro.
Yeah. He, there was a thing too, I guess there was
maybe like a century, not centuries.
Yeah. I think they said they did like a comic like series. It was similar to the What If series where they were, like it was like how people would want their own story to end kind of thing. And his was just having come home from the war and being completely anonymous for the rest of his life and marry Peggy and that be the end of it. And that's essentially what he got. Now, what do they decide out of that? Chris Evans has not completely closed his heart off to this. He says he's done.
Oh my God, give it some years.
Yeah, but he has also said that he's not closed off to the idea of coming back at some point if the right thing came along. Right. Or if the, you know, like he wouldn't just do it just cause, and I don't think he's going to need to do it for the paycheck anymore. I think he's all set.
Yeah. So, I think he was set like by this first one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's cool. And again, it's cool that he's got the shield. I'm really looking forward to seeing what his setup is going to look like. I feel like his wings are going to be Captain America colors, and the shield's going to be right on the back of it.
I think
like
it
right
is. And he takes it off, yeah.
And then like I'm looking forward to everything, but I like the idea too that the Falcon and Winter Soldier is him becoming Captain, like actual Captain America, not just I have the shield, I am Captain America. Now it's like you see him practicing with the thing, and that's the wedding ring. That was nice because people I watched it with didn't notice that at first. I'm like, oh, he's married, and then they're like, oh shit. No, I don't.
I love that.
It's
no.
Yeah.
No.
Now, do you think, your opinion, is it better that they olded Chris Evans up, or should they have cast just an old man who kind of looked like Chris Evans?
I like that they olded up Chris Evans.
Yeah. Okay. And I think it's nice. I think it's nice for him because he gets to basically say goodbye and be the one to hand over the shield.
It's an actor moment too. It's like you're gonna play your old self.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
You know,
I always get mad at people who play old versions of themselves. I think the best worst example is Christopher Lambert in Highlander 2: The Quickening, when he's like, "I'm an old man," and then you're just like, "Fuck." Like you just like you.
Although they did a good job.
That was the beginning of that movie, and you were just like, "Oh God, this is what we're in for."
Oh, what a nice moment!
Yeah, this would actually be interesting.
We need to see that moment where he comes back and is like, "Peg," you know? Do they?
Yeah.
Well, would he just go back and then be?
Yeah.
Like what? You know, there's a lot of questions with that.
Somebody made that point actually.
Would he be the skinny him? Or would he be the ripped one?
Yeah. Well, he'd be the ripped one because that's the one that traveled.
That's the one that went back.
But I think that it's interesting because it's like people have been bringing up, they need to bring back the Marvel one-shots. You know, those like short films they used to do. They need to, and they could easily get those. And like, God, how hard would it be to get some of these people to come back for this tiny little whatever, right?
That movie was not about, James Gunn was one of the executive producers.
Yeah.
That movie was more about the connections between them.
Yeah.
As opposed to action and adventure.
Yeah.
And I think I understand that more in the second time watching it. I liked it actually a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, another thing we missed well, we didn't miss, but it was something that the Russo brothers thought of doing. They thought of when 2014 Thanos comes to the future, and that he actually drops in front of him Captain America's head because he kills their timeline Captain America, and then drops his head to like fuck with them and stuff like that. They're not going to think he's dead, but he's obviously killed an Avenger.
Right. It's a very
This was a great moment here. This I love what they do. Like I talked about this a bit when we did Lord of the Rings Return of the King, how they gave like a special new like curtain call style credits for this, and what they did here was good with these guys, but what they do with the original Avengers at the end is just fucking gold. I absolutely love it. But I like too that this, when they're showing all these actors, they're showing like some of their better moments from like the series, not from this movie.
Not from, that's neat actually.
So like,
oh yeah, he's alive, you bastard.
You betcha. Good old Benedict Wong too. I really like him. He's really good in those movies.
I agree.
Like in his roles.
Well,
in
they've done.
movies.
I think they did like perfect casting from like most
Letitia
of the characters.
Wright
I don't
also.
think I've seen anybody that was like, oh, somebody could do it better or whatever,
No.
right?
Like I'm sure there are people that if you saw them do it, you're like, yeah, that guy did a good job or whatever. But yeah, it's they do a job that's so amazing at just removing doubt. You know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe somebody else could have been better at this. They're like, no, they did the right thing.
Just look at the names.
I know. And
like,
I think
this is unbelievable. Like,
I think they said like 17 Oscar nominees were in this movie.
that's
Like
amazing.
in the principal cast.
Yeah. I just read a thing recently too about how they've had so many Oscar winners as villains in the MCU.
Yeah, but now just on top of everything, to also good guys like both. Like I don't think Michelle Pfeiffer was ever nominated, but Michael Douglas was, and
Robert Redford.
I like the
Fucking
with.
A.
I like the with credit. It's like this special credit that you get to have, right?
What?
Sam Jackson. Well, it's actually a credit you ask for, is the with and the and credit, because it goes at the end. Like,
What do you mean you ask for it?
Well, it's because then you're not just grouped amongst the people. It's
Right.
like, oh, it's all these people with this person who's special. So this is what I was talking about, is this autograph thing and like the semi-silhouette of the main people. I like, and legit standing ovation during my thing. Like people were like, they were picking their favorites and they're getting up and they're like, woo! And it was awesome.
Nice.
So good. It's funny because they probably took these shots and they probably were like for posters or something, and they probably saw this for the movie and were like, oh my God. Like, it's so amazing.
Why did they fucking certainly did something,
Oh, good God.
I don't know. Like I watch these and he's an old bastard, but I think I hear Martin Scorsese's comments and the people that agree with it. And I'm like, fuck you.
Nah.
How could you ever say something like that? It's a movie.
Yeah.
Like not every movie has to be the movie that you make.
Yeah. And
That's
also
the whole point of cinema.
Yeah.
There's a choice.
Well, and there's also just the whole thing of like, you're saying that these movies fail to do what your movies can do, which is like evoke emotion and all that. I cried during like 20 of these movies.
Well, I think it's 'cause
like,
they're
Jesus
old.
Christ. Yeah.
And like I said before, it's a crazy thing for him to make a $250 million movie where they CGI de-age all the characters and then poo-poo a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Where one of the movies
what?
is literally just them doing the exact same thing,
like,
which was
I say to you right now,
Marvel.
okay, fucking, I watched it again.
Yeah.
And
Oh, The Irishman?
it's like the most boring.
Yeah.
Like it is like, oh my God, like,
Man.
like it's well acted, but I'm like, what is this?
I know, I hear you.
It's super fucking boring. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
I know. It's like, it's amazing. I just counted like in the first 10 people on this thing, like 6 of them were not Oscar nominees. It's just bananas. And you just keep going down, down, down. It's like, how
gonna be 25 minutes of
amazing,
credits.
how amazing would it be to see your name in a credit for this movie? I don't think I would ever get over it. Like, you know how people like they like stick to their like, oh, I was like the high school football champion, I was the quarterback, like here's my state ring or whatever. And it's like, oh, these guys. I'm like, if I played like soldier number 19 in this movie and my name was in that credits, I would have that forever. I would introduce myself to fucking strangers like that.
That's all I ever wanted was one movie.
Yeah.
To be in one movie.
Yeah.
That people were like, that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even need to be the guy that they talk about.
I wouldn't
just
even
to be in it.
I would
like I was in Matrix.
Yeah. There's a great
and I'm not the background guy. Like I had 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm in the fucking
that has to be the thing. You have to at least have something that makes you memorable. Even if you only have one line, but it's in like a really funny scene.
And people are like, I love this guy. Like that's all man.
Yeah, like you're sitting there and you're like, oh shit, you're the guy in that scene.
Yeah.
When you say
know
like,
what I mean?
that's
Like,
not
awesome.
my tomato. Right?
I was that dude that told Liv Tyler that she could do it.
Yes.
As the elf.
I was gonna say that was a weird Lord of the Rings.
You know, like
she's like, should I go help save him? You can do it.
Like whenever like somebody, you know, the fact that like Samwise, I know he's been in other stuff, but it was like if I could just be him in that movie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, I would be set. I would just be like, who cares?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I was Samwise in Lord of the Rings.
Absolutely. Well, that's like what I think about with Orlando Bloom. I was like, you could have just threw your hat on that for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Then he got Pirates of the Caribbean, and now he's having sex with Katy Perry. So it's just like all gravy.
Cool. Yeah. He's. I keep thinking my phone is ringing, but it's the
whose phone is ringing? Mine.
Drivers.
I know, like
all the driving scenes that happened.
No, it's those are the people who like pick up the people and blah, 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 and deliver equipment and all that shit.
Yeah, they get it in there.
I knew I worked with a girl one time who was a driver for film and stuff like that, and she was like, it was the most boring job. She's like, I never got to like drive a celebrity somewhere. I was like, I was always just driving like a random producer somewhere or just delivering a bunch of equipment.
Yeah, so what?
But she's like she never felt a part of anything. It's not like you're like seeing, oh my god, I'm driving and I've got like I have the prop, like I have the fucking One Ring in this like box or something like that. It was just like
does she get a credit?
I assume so, yeah, because they did it here. So
yeah, well, fucking A.
Yeah, it would be wonderful. I want to be a special thanks because then I always want people, if they ever see my name, go, what the fuck did this guy do?
Yeah, because you can pick any name out of these a trillion names that made this film.
Yeah, like John Ibby Ibsen or Dorian Bustamante. I know how to pronounce that name because I know Carlos Bustamante.
Of course. Oh, they still use? Of course they did. Industrial Light and Magic. Of course they did.
Well, they're one of many because like you'll actually see there's going to be multiple.
Oh, hell. This is the first section.
Look at this list of this is just digital artists for ILM. Like how crazy.
Yeah, you know what? I like that a lot more.
Good. I'm really
a lot more than I liked it the first time.
Where do you think you rank it then? If we're,
I don't know. I'd give it an 8 though.
Yeah. But 8's good. I mean, 8 is right around where they've got the first Avengers movie.
I'd give it an 8. I don't think it's as good as the first Avengers, but it was really awesome. Good. I really liked it more. And like, I think I understood more the theme of it, which I think the theme was, like you said, which was like closing the loop, but it was also about their emotional connection to each other and to their past and their families and this and that.
Yeah, for sure. And it was, I think it was...
The action scene at the end wasn't big enough though. But this is I chalk that up to like a scheduling. Yeah. You know, they can't have all these guys.
Well, it's probably a matter and it's probably a matter of trying to convince, like when you've already like $370 or $390 million into a thing, it's like, oh, we need like $12 million more dollars to throw in a couple more Spider-Man swinging around an alien.
Yeah, but is that so hard to ask? Like you've already gone that far. Is another 12 million slapped on gonna be a big deal?
Probably not. I think it becomes from the studio standpoint. It's like, okay, if you ask for this 12 million, you give you, when are you asking for the next 12 million, and then the next 12 million.
Right.
It's like, so it's like,
yeah, but I mean, this is the cash cow.
Yeah, no, exactly.
When your golden boy comes and asks you for more money, and every time he does it, he knocks a fucking home run out of the park. Like you really, you know.
Oh, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
No.
I would like to maybe sometime add up the maybe by the next movie I'll add up what Robert Downey Jr. made combined in all of these movies.
I can't believe that. Why did Thor make more than anybody?
I think he probably just happened to be in a renegotiation when the other guys weren't.
Because I heard that in the second Avengers happened, like Robert Downey Jr. helped them get more, and blah blah blah. But I find it crazy that he would get more money than Robert Downey Jr. would.
I don't know if that was straight salary, if that was points.
But he probably, what they probably also did with him then, they probably signed him to another 4-8 movie deal.
That may very well be true.
So they probably were
that
like,
was like,
we'll give you this if you go again.
Yeah, that's like his retainer.
Right.
I like that La Cucaracha was one of the listed songs in the movie because it was the horn theme.
Right.
That was funny.
There's Elvis. Don't fuck around with the king, baby.
Yeah, everybody has to thank Elvis or his ghost will come and fuck your wife. And it's Fat Elvis.
There's the Quebec
and Ontario. Koreans.
Fucking right. Well, they also have the Georgia Peach one there.
I like that underneath it said it was a British Columbia tax credit. So they had. Yeah.
Don't get me started on the British Columbia tax credit, bro.
Now this is a good thing too.
Here we go.
So listen. There's no after credit scene because they weren't leading to anything. We didn't hear it, but it was because we were talking.
You were talking.
I know. I apologize, but it was the
Ping.
It was the clanging from the first thing.
Fucking right, man. I got chicken in the fridge. Yeah.
We got to get going, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We are not done yet. Spider-Man Far From Home is next week. We're going to visit the world after all this is done. What do you do with people who've aged 5 years? It's actually really interesting too because they do deal with that a little bit. People who are like, if you were like a senior in high school, people who were like freshmen in high school are now in college when you're gone.
When you were there with them.
Yeah, so it's...
And now this is the Latin American credits coming up here.
Netflix
and every culture in the world, the credits are longer than the film.
Well, they credit, if they have the option for that audio track, they put the credits in for those audio, audio performances. So that's all that's happening here.
I dig it. Yeah. See, great. Best credits ever.
Best credits, best closed captioning.
Whoever did the closed captioning, I want to talk to this guy. He did fucking great.
It could be a woman. Sexist motherfucker.
True. That is true. I meant guy as in like, hey guy.
Yeah.
Like, what's up,
like
man?
the royal we.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm with you. All right. Look at the French. No, notice this. That's the Quebec, the Quebecois. Mm-hmm. But did you notice who the voice of Mantis was? Pomme Clementif. She did her own French dialogue.
Cool.
Because she is part French.
She's part French.
So there you go.
Neat.
She's a weird, like, what was her thing? She's like French and German or something. Some combination of French and Asian.
We cannot end this when the French one is on. Okay?
Yeah, we have to.
We're going to wait until whatever culture's next is not ours.
Yeah.
We would be doing that. No, you know what? I was just about to say we're going to be doing Quebec a disservice. Just end it.
I was going to say, it's Italian now. Sorry, Italians. So sorry. We're not trying to run away from you because of coronavirus related things. We're just trying to, you get it.
Yes, they've got it.
All right. We will see you guys next week. As always, email us podcast at miscastcommentary.com. Find us just at miscastcommentary.com. Find us on Twitter. I'm at JK Finley. Todd's at miscast Todd. We are at miscast commentary, we are at Miscast Podcast, and Instagram at Miscast Commentary, and I am Joe Finley, or Joe Finley, fuck off. You are Joe Finley. It's true. And I'm at JK Finley on there as well. Call or text us, 289. I don't remember the number.
That movie's way longer than I thought it was.
Yeah,
Holy
long.
God.
Right, we're not going to do that part.
Fuck it. Just fuck it.
Yeah, just fuck it all. All right. All right, guys, we will see you next week. We are super excited that you joined us for this super long ride. Usually we do these in 2 parts, but I can't do that for this movie. And bye-bye.
Bye.
True, right?
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.